hours a day on Genesis.
The willingness to speak truth.
I always want to do something. I always want to help my people.
Yeah! I'ma tell them what. You know what I mean?
I think it's time for you to hear the truth.
Every nation, in every region, now has a decision to make.
Hey yo, they don't like my songs. Bush came to my yard, he wants to take me on. Phone the most high, I'm like, yo, it's on. Devil's in my face, Pop, don't be long.
All you need is faithful souls. Have no fear, my son, my kingdom you alone. 400 years, no knowledge of your home. Now is your chance to reclaim your throne.
Okay, Pop, yeah, no doubt. A bunch of back ones are taking him out. But he reckons I got weapons, what's he talking about? I don't like the way the devil's running his mouth.
Don't watch that, it's just an excuse. See, they don't like you, son, cause you tell the truth.
Hey, yo, Pop, United Nations turned up. They wanna search my yard till I them up.
Nah, son, you leave them to me. Now you deal with that portion, Colin Palfassi. I got fire for the bad side for those who oppose me. Hurricane, tornadoes, earthquakes, you'll see.
Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from round upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line. Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from round upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line.
I'm interested in the truth, and the truth is what I will pursue.
We have to recognize who our major enemy is.
The biggest challenge before you right now is, who is the enemy?
Life is becoming increasingly miserable for everybody. But when they find out who it is, it's causing trouble.
I will tell you what the mainstream media will not tell you.
That the Jewish people control the media.
People need to get out of denial very quickly, because your children are being poisoned, you're being poisoned, children are being indoctrinated and programmed and turned into software programs at school, you're being poisoned in the air, you've been poisoned from the sky, poisoned in your food, poisoned in your water, poisoned by vaccine. How bad does it have to get before people in vast numbers realize that the world ain't like they thought it was?
I'm talking to you. The principle and the idea was divide and rule, divide and conquer. $1 billion a week spent on war. 15 million Americans are homeless in the street. We can build Iraq and Afghanistan, but leave you with nothing.
You have to come together. There has to be a foundation of unity before you to get anywhere, especially if you're black in this country.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing else.
I want you to hear me.
Yeah!
Speak the truth regardless of circumstance and stand up on the truth from the cradle to the grave.
The devils are some dirty way. Yo, the murder was the case they gave. And it was just the other day when they stepped out the caucus man in caves. The murder's undercover blood. But guess what? They slipped up. The people are starting to wake up, and as soon as we get together, they ain't here to apologize for the outcry while we're on the genocide. Till today, from the time we arrived, Mother Africa is still dripping blood from her eyes. Ain't tipping turning around my words. I'ma tell the truth till it hurts. And I'ma keep spreading love to the peace. But right now, I'ma drop the truth on the verse. And I'ma dismiss unrighteousness. My backside, they can kiss, they can't handle this. I got a long list of brains with power fists who insist government's taking a piss.
Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from round upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line. Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from round upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line.
Come, let me bust the things for all you hustling. I might scuff your Tims how I'm busting in the fight. I'm struggling on some other ting. Head wrap and skull cap, I call my brother king. Wagwanin and you know that. It's like a prison wing, how we keep the show pack. I don't hold back. Radio, play my whole track. Most cats listen close as phone taps. There's no black in the Union Jack. Britain flows pierce ears like guns with studs in them. Count bars like you're stuck in prison. Count scars on a body that's slug ridden. It's the fusion of the E's, brews and ganja, giving these youths delusions of grandeur. And only a few who've left to have a stretch on the psychiatric wing return to the manor. I'm the one that rap for them people suffering. Try function in a world that's got no love for them. Enough of them would rather vote for Big Brother than vote for them hypocrites that's in the government. Well, f them then. It's Emmanuel and Brother Ben.
Yeah. Exodus the
Felt into your entire life. There's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter.
You think the US don't have weapons of mass destruction?
It's a general idea. With who? I'm working on it.
Jumbo, Hotep, peace, salamo. This is Genesis Radio. My name is Sayshara. I'm here for the next couple of hours and beyond, as you know how we do between the hours of 10 and beyond. And I want to big up DJ Tony Mix for the last couple of hours of his genre of different music. As you know, he's on some different vibes every time here on Genesis Radio. I want to big up also DJ Gigs for his couple of hours of his selection of music. And you know how Genesis is here for you to not only entertain you, but we're here to inform, to make you educated and aware about what's going on out there. So that's what we're about. So we're interested to hear from you here on Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.co.uk. Let me know how I'm sounding. We're live here in Southeast London, in Little England, the UQ, British Isles. And before I proceed, I want to say my condolences goes out to one of my cousins out there. I want to big you up there from West London, the West London crew, the West London people out there, for the loss of his dad. Okay, you know, as a family, we got to be able to show respect and love for our people out there, and we always pay homage to our ancestors when they go off to the ancestral realm. So definitely Andy Thorpe and the Thorpe family and all the West London people out there, you know, well, hearts and you know, minds goes out to those people out there that know that they've lost a great warrior. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just want to let you know that I'm here for the next couple of hours, and I want to talk about what is actually happening with this whole really bad situation that's happening with some of our people out there. And as you know, we're all about talking about the black agenda and dealing with our own problems and issues, and having to, you know, for those people out there that's really interested, because, you know, as you know, I think, like, personally speaking, I think it's important to kind of get our people to tune in to what's happening and what's going on out there, whether they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? I think that we all have to pay a great invested interest into our communities, okay? Because if we're not going to be able to solve problems and issues, okay, we have to come together collectively. As you know, that's what we're talking about. We need to be coming together collectively, as we have to, in times of that we're living in, the times of the signs of the way that we're living at the present moment. It's not healthy and it's not conducive to our whole way of being. So we need our people to tune in as best as possible. And I know knowledge and information is not for everybody. Yeah, I don't think we need to be living in isolation, or we're just not going to be included in actually what's going on. I think everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a responsibility and a real duty to our community, our families, and our children, more importantly, okay? And it's taken a little time for the message to get through, yeah, obviously, but it's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there, slowly but surely. And I think that the more we send these kind of messages out there, yeah, the more we'll be able to get to see what's happening. Now, for those people who want to send in a text, you can text us Let me just make sure I got the text number, which I can't see at the moment. All right, so all right, the phone line numbers. Just maybe you can check the phone line numbers, which is 074 043 67618. And if anybody's got any information to do with the community as a whole, any announcements about anything that's really constructive, all right, then please use this number, yeah, and just pass the message around, okay, that we're here and that we want to spread the message and get people to tune into what's going on, okay, because this is one of the best forms of communication for us, okay, to be able to spread the message, right, so people can actually get involved in what's actually going on out there, all right. So it's not just about me and what I'm saying. I'm just here to facilitate, to mediate, to conversate these kind of discussions around the very things that we need to be looking at. And it's not easy, all right. It's not easy. We know it's not easy, all right. However, if we just look at how we can come together and we can share the load, we can share the burden, we can share the problems and the stress and the difficulty, okay, we can achieve a lot, okay. We can achieve a lot much more than we could even imagine, yeah. But we have to be able to set our aims, goals and objectives. We've got to be able to focus on something that we can plan ahead to be able to deal with our problems and issues. So we need to be able to put structures in place. We need to be able to put foundations in place. And there's a lot of things going on, and I'm not taking away from what's that is actually happening, yeah? But I think that what we need to be looking at is we need to be always looking at coming together and always thinking about the best processes that we can use to deal with our problems and issues, yeah? And I feel like, when we're looking at things, okay, I'm looking at things from Sayshara's perspective, and it's not just about me and my perspective and how I'm looking at things and how I see things, yeah? I think, like I said, again, we have to be able to shape our vision, okay, and the way that we see things, the way that we look at things, all right, rather than just be following somebody else's vision that doesn't have our best interests. It doesn't really serve our best interests, okay? And I think that until we come together at some point, yeah, collectively, where as groups and individuals who are putting the work out there, the ones that's actually doing things, okay, and until that group or that communicated way of how we are in the terms of that we care about our people. There's a lot of people that care about our people, okay, and that's really are doing things, okay. Those people who are really on the same page, they have a similar mindset. We know whatever the differences that we have, or differences of how we perceive things or how we look at things, whatever differences that we have in ideological views or psychological views of philosophies and things like that, all these different variant things, okay, we can always talk about, okay. I think that we can put all of that stuff aside. Yeah, I'm not saying that's not relevant, yeah, but what I'm saying is just look at what is in the best interest of our people, what is the things that we need to do, yeah, to be able to go forward, to be able to advance and progress, okay. We've got a lot of issues with our community in terms of that we're not able to deal with the problems head on, yeah, and be able to eradicate these problems, right? But what's happening over years and time is that because we're not able to solve our problems effectively and efficiently and constructively, yeah, we're not able to deal with the problems so that they just get dissolved. In other words, they disappear. Yeah, but what's happening is that because we're not dealing with it head on, we're just getting these problems. They're just building up and building up and building up. Yeah, and you're gonna get all kinds of problems and issues, okay, because they're not being dealt with. All right. And I'm not saying that people are not there doing things on the ground, because there's a lot of people that are doing things, okay? You're just not hearing about it, yeah? And one of the things that we have problems with is having our own media where we're able to be able to empower our people or uplift our people or be able to move our people, galvanize them or mobilize them in a place where they need to be able to know what things that we need to be doing. All right. So there's a lot. I say there's a few people, you can say, out of how many of us are here in this country here in the British Isles. Okay, you can say there's a couple of million of us here. Okay, but how many of us are really doing things? Okay, there's too few, many people doing things. And one of the things that I understand that some of our people give up, that's one of the areas that we need to look at, is why people are dispirited or why people tend to want to give up on the struggle or on the resistance, or be able to just help our people and give them the support and advice and assistance where, just basic stuff, people just want to give up on all of that, yeah, because, we have so much differences of problematic issues to do with our own emotions and our own ego, and we have our own personal issues that sometimes we can't cope. Some of us can't cope with all of that, yeah, or they just think, oh, you know what, this is just a waste of time, yeah. I just can't be bothered to deal with these people over there, yeah. So I'm just going to ignore what's going on, yeah. I'm just going to just deal with myself, yeah. And we've got a lot of our people, unfortunately, they've become isolated in that respect, where they're not really being a part of this community, yeah. Some people don't think there's a community, all right. Some people say there's a community, but there's no unity within that community, yeah? So there's different elements of things that really disturb people when it comes to working with our own people, and in some ways, some people would say, well, working with our own people is one of the most difficult things to do, but you have to be patient and you have to be tolerant. You have to understand the dynamics of some of our issues that are intergenerational and transgenerational, okay, that we tend to have some of these problems and issues that we pass on from generation to generation throughout the family across all the generations. So we're just like so divided in the way that we're looking at things, the way that we're thinking, that we're not able to assess our problems in a way that we got the time and the space and the energy and the resources and all the things that's necessary to facilitate us, yeah, to have a constructive foundation, yeah, that we can build on developing and evolving on the very things that we need to do, yeah. There's a lot of people out there that don't think that we need to do anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, they think everything's all right, yeah. They don't see any issues. They just think that, the problem that we have is internal, which is true, yeah. The problem is with us and the things that we're doing or the things that we're not doing, yeah. And, the way that we conduct ourselves, the way that we actually go about doing business, the way that we go about how we relate, the way we go about how we socialize, yeah, and do the very things that we have to do in our everyday lives. But, you know, rather than us looking at things in isolation, yeah, just look at things collectively, yeah. And what's happening, yeah, because some of our people are cut off in a certain way, because initially where we originate as people, we're really family orientated people. We are so much of a people that all we want to do is be together, yeah, and we're so tight as a people. We are really, really close as people, yeah. But I think that, you know, we live in a system that is throwing a lot of things at us that we're not able to deal with, yeah. I think there's a lot of changes going on, and because we're not able to control these changes, yeah, a lot of these changes are taking over our lives, yeah. We're not able to control these changes, yeah. And I know some people will say, well, this is the way of the world, this is what it is, Sayshara. What are we going to do about that, yeah? How can you control everything? You're not going to be able to control everything, but I think that the things that we need to be looking at, we need to prioritize the things that we need to be looking at. What are the things that we can control? What's the most important things that we need to be thinking about controlling for ourselves as a group of people? Fair enough, we can't control everything. That's true, yeah? But then, you know, we need to be controlling the basic things, just the basic things, yeah? And then, you know, build on that. But if we're not controlling anything, okay, we're not taking responsibility. We're not taking the responsibility that's necessary, right, for us to be able to move ourselves forward, all right? So we have to, you know, whether the world wants to accept us or not for the way that we are, the way that we look at ourselves collectively, when I say that, we need to be looking at ourselves as a nation of people, yeah? And within saying that, you know, at the present moment, there's some issues because we're not one nation of people, yeah? And some people don't think that we need to be one nation of people. There's a lot of our people that think that, you know, we should subscribe into somebody else's nationalization, yeah, you know, or we should subscribe to somebody else's religion, and we should subscribe to other ideologies that's foreign to us, yeah. That doesn't help us, and all of these things that we need to be looking at, yeah, that does not help us, yeah. Why are we using these things? Why are we using things that does not help us? It's not productive, it's not constructive, it's not able to move us forward. So we just seem to be just using somebody else's platform, somebody else's foundations, somebody else's establishment, their institution, all of these things, but we're not controlling those things. So we can have all the material things in the world, yeah, but who's making them, who's producing them, who's distributing them, who's manufacturing them, yeah? And, you know, how much of that are we controlling, yeah? How much of our children's lives do we control? Do we control the minds of our children? Do we control the minds of our children? Yeah? Because this week, I want to talk about, I looked at, you know, some newspaper this week, Tuesday, and the headlines, 5 killed in 6 days, 1 question. This was the Evening Standard in London. It's a free newspaper, and I'm sure everybody is a reflection of us as highly melanated beings. We call ourselves African Caribbean, black, and all different descriptions and classifications, right? That's been given to us, yeah. But we need to know that it doesn't matter what names or labels we need to be looking at. That we recognize that we are one people. Just look at each other. We just need to just look at each other. We don't have to explain everything, but we just need to see and reflect on each other and one another, and that we know that we're one group of people. All right. So it's difficult when we're talking about some of our real deep-seated, rooted issues, okay? When it comes to our people and our people are being killed or how they die or how they be murdered and things of that nature. You know, it's difficult when parents or loved ones see this on the front page in several newspapers all around the mainstream media, and it kind of worries me, and it's kind of concerning how the things that we are affected by is propagated in the media, and I don't feel that it's properly represented in the way that it should be, and the way the information is presented is just misconstrued to make us still look like we're criminals, or, you know, us as a people, as black people, as we're known, as classified as black people, yeah, are looked on based on how the mainstream media purports how victims of knife or gun crime, as they want to put labels to it, yeah, are being, you know, some people's lives have been taken. And so you see they got two young male images, young boys, yeah, 16, yeah, and it says here, a boy aged 16 has become London's 5th murder victim in 6 days in an epidemic of street violence. The teenager was found with fatal wounds in Tulsa last night, or the other night, after police were called to reports of a shooting. Anyway, it says that the murder brings the number of homicides in London to 119, and you know, it's a very sensitive thing to talk about, because there's parents out there, when they see all this stuff, okay, when they hear it on the TV, on the media and stuff like that, obviously they're going to be touched. The memory starts flooding in, okay, of their experiences with their loved ones, yeah, and you know, it's a trauma type situation that we're dealing with here when we're hearing it in the way that it's coming out, yeah. We know no one wants, no parent, nobody, I don't think no one in our community wants to see any of our people lose their life in any shape or form, okay? Generally speaking, if you look at where we are originated historically, if you look at us as a people and how we originated, yeah, where we're coming from, yeah, and some people might think, well, that's irrelevant, Sayshara. This is 2008, and this still with the future, right? From the present to the future, which is true, right? We do need to look at the present into the future, but the past, the present, and the future is, holistically, is one as a whole. That's my view, okay? So I would never ever exclude the past and not relate to the past and not think that the past is not relevant, because the past is relevant. It's very much relevant, because we're living in the past. As we're speaking, as we're listening, as we're tuning in, as we're vibrating, as we're resonating, whatever consciousness that we're in, yeah, we're going through past tense as it is every millisecond, yeah. So you can't just exclude the past. It's just impossible, yeah. But I know what people are talking about historically when we're talking about some of our problems and issues and how we look at history as a whole, yeah, that we don't need to look at everything and go back hundreds of years or thousands of years. I understand that, yeah. But in certain things may be relevant to our situation that we need to go back to the past to get answers and to get to the root of our problems and issues. Okay, so I wouldn't dismiss the past entirely, But I think that we can use the past in constructive ways and move it forward to dealing with some of our problem and issues. All right? But we're always going to be focused on right now, right in the present, and how we need to move things forward, how we're going to plan ahead and focus on our future, on our legacies and on our destiny and all those good things of nature. Yeah? So what is happening to our community? What is happening to our community? Are we falling apart? Are we falling apart? Yeah? Are we lacking in our responsibilities? Are we not able to take charge of our responsibilities? What is the problem? What is the actual issue? Okay? Now, there's a lot of talk out there, a lot of talk, where in the mainstream media, the mainstream government, in the political class, in the economic class, they're talking about, one of the things they're saying is that that's contributed to all of this violence, which I kind of disagree, is in some sense I agree, in some sense I disagree, yeah? Because I don't think you could just actually say it's just one thing. I don't think you could just say, oh, the problem is just one thing. Oh, it's to do with pairing. It's just not, just, yeah, that's part of the problem. That's true, yeah? Oh, it's to do with education. Yeah, that's true. That's part of the problem. Oh, it's to do with economics. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to look at so many different things, okay? You got to look at a long list of things, okay? And you got to evaluate. You got to analyze all of these things, okay? So they're talking about in the mainstream media about drill music. They're just focusing on drill music. They keep on hopscotching around this issue. 1 minute it's to do with parents. Now they're saying it's drill music. You know what I'm saying? They hopscotch around the real problems and issues, okay? And then they try to just put it down to one thing. It's not one thing. It's a combination. It's an amalgamation of so many different things. We live in a big so-called society, yeah, where so many things are going on, all right? And it is very, very concerning, and I've talked about this in the past so many times, okay? And we as a people, those people on the ground, okay, on the grassroots people, right? They study their people and they're concerned and they care about their people and putting work in and stuff like that. They know, they know what's going on. They know what it's all about, yeah? And they identify with the problems and the issues, okay? The only caveat is that we're not able to come together to deal with it collectively. That's the caveat, yeah? And I don't know at what point we're going to be able to do that, yeah? But I know that there's always things in the making where people are working towards getting us to work together collectively, and it doesn't matter where we are. At some point, we're going to have to come to a junction, to a crossroads, because this type of thing cannot continue. And I've been talking about this for years, all right? That the levels of violence that we're living in right now, okay, is off the charts, okay? And it's not just the young people that's affected, okay? This whole planet Earth is affected, yeah? We can just say it's just one thing, and that's the real main issue. And it is a real problem. And I think that the way this whole system is going right now, yeah, it is like a purge, right? And people feel that they become sort of uncaring, cold and calculated, right? It's about the kind of mindsets out there, what it's actually manifesting over a period and a process of time. Because, look, for things to get, you know, I don't want to, see, the thing is, I have to be very mindful myself, okay, because I don't want to, like, stigmatize our people in any shape or form to say that we're bad people, because we're not. We're not bad people. I just feel that we're in the wrong place right now, and we need to move from that place to elevate ourselves to somewhere a lot better than where we are at this present moment. Okay? But the thing is, we're so influenced by this system that we're living in, the system that we're not able to control different aspects, not even controlling any aspects of any form of activities that's out there, yeah, that we're struggling to deal with this system, and we're not facing the reality, yeah. And a lot of us and a lot of our people are in denial. We're properly, in a way, we've been misguided and misled by some of our poor leadership, which has got something to do with that, yeah. Why we're not able to be dealing with some of the problems, but as time goes by, we're going to deal with that, yeah. But the problem, the real issue that I'm talking about, it's not just I want to stigmatize our people in any way, shape, or form. The real issue that I'm having with this is that this type of level of violence, and I've said this before, that we live in a system based on violent sexual behavior. So we separate the two. Violence is one aspect, and the sexual violence is another aspect. Okay, it's two different things, and I think that a lot of our people are getting influenced by this system that seems to be resonating on this this kind of frequency, low level frequency, yeah, that we need to have a violent type of mindset. We have to have a when I talk about sexual violence behavior, yeah, that you know what I'm saying, sometimes we don't talk about that. Yeah, we talk about violence, but we don't talk about the sexual violence that goes on as well. But these are the same problems that we're having. But these are real issues, yeah? And unfortunately, it's affecting our children while they're getting younger and younger, okay? And now the violence has really reached into the schoolyard, yeah, or out of school, yeah, or just, young boys being in their local area. It's really that, I think we need to be able to do our own research to really get a full understanding of what's really taking place, because we need to know what's in the minds of our young people to get from them what is actually going on, to be able to deal with this problem and issue. Why is it happening? Yeah? And we could talk about the different reasons or different things that's, why young people are affected by it. It's a long list of things. Yeah? And it's not about making excuses about some of the things that's going on out there. It's about having to take responsibility and deal with them, okay, so we can eradicate it. Now, so one of the things that we need to be looking at is how we can have a program or process of intervention as well as prevention, an prevention program or processes, okay? So young people are quite aware of the dangers to do with violent behavior or sexual violent behavior. They need to be aware of this, okay? How it's going to be dealt with or how it's going to be able to put in place is another question. Parents alone is not going to be able to just cut it, yeah? Parents can help, yes, all right? Unless we become collective, unless we become the collective. At the moment, we're not the collective, okay? So we're just talking in hindsight. We're just talking in a way that we have these expectations that we want our people to do certain things, but without actually getting them to get the message, how would they know? Unless they tune in, or we have a massive national program, yeah, to get parents involved in the processes to be able to eradicate some of these problems and issues, all right? But we're not a people that it's actually, if our young people could understand this, okay, and some of our adults as well, okay, we're not actually coming from that. We're not like that. Yeah, we're the most loving, peaceful, humble people, and on this planet Earth, we love to live in harmony and peace. We don't want a lot of problems. We don't want a lot of trouble and things like that. Yeah, we don't want to make trouble. We don't want to hurt nobody. Yeah, you know, that's evident. Yeah, if you look at us as a people in our own countries, wherever we are in the Caribbean or Africa, we don't have weapons of mass destruction unless it's been given to us. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, we're not making any weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, and we're not intimidating any country. We're not actually going around with any imperialist behavior. We're not actually doing it. We're not actually a threat. Think about it. Who are we threatening? In fact, we're not a threat to nobody on this planet Earth. Nobody's scared of us. Nobody's scared of us, right? Because we're not actually a threat. And maybe that's the problem as well. Yeah? That because people don't see us as a threat, they just see, well, we can just come into a community and do whatever we want. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? And wherever we are, that's a real issue that we have. We can't say that we don't have this issue where people come into our communities with their money, their long money. If they got money, yeah, or some power and influence, they could come into our country and do what they want, which is not right. Yeah? And that our leaders allow this to happen. They're the ones that's responsible. They know how to use our leaders. It's a simple thing. Yeah? They know they've worked out how to do these things, man. They've been planning these things. They know how to set us up. Yeah? And put us in a place where they want us to be, rather than a place that we need to be in. Yeah? Which is that we need to take control of our communities, of our societies, of our country, of us as a nation of people as a whole. And because we're not threatening, we're not like standing up for our people, where if anybody does threaten our people, we can threaten them. Do you get what I'm saying? We're not actually threatening anybody. Okay? So therefore, people can't turn around and say that we're the bad guys, right? What we bad at? The only problem that we have is that we seem to be looking at being bad to ourselves. And so when is it that we're going to evolve from that? I'm just generalizing here, okay? Because I don't want people to start throwing rocks at me and say, sure, that's not true. We get on quite good. We do get on quite good in certain areas. But when we got some of our young people, even if one child loses his life, one person loses their life, unnecessarily or uncalled for, yeah, it's one too many, okay? And that's not where we're coming from, right? But we seem to be so it was so kind of what you could say, we kind of integrated this so-called society. We think that we're British. We say that we're British, okay? and some of us say that we're proud to be British, and that we accept being British, and then we forget who we are and forget where we're coming from. And then when all these problems arise, we're wondering why. You forgot where you come from. You forgot that you've been given a label that's deflecting from who you really are. And then what happens is, with that kind of mindset, that mindset becomes a culture within itself, because then it starts to spread like a virus. And then you get young people thinking like, well, I'm British, ain't I? You know what I'm saying? Yeah? And they totally disconnect yourself from who you are. How's that going to help? This is the problem with our young people. They don't recognize and reflect themselves as they are one people. Yeah? And it's really, really, when it gets to anything that touches our children at school levels, that shows you that things have gone out of control, well out of control. Yeah? These boys, yeah, shouldn't be going around with knives and guns killing each other. This is this whole thing. It seems like some of our young people are desensitized to killing and murdering and having this violent tendency. So where is it coming from? It's not coming from the parents. The parents are not teaching these young people how to be violent, I'm sure. How to kill or murder. No one does that. No one does that. Yeah, no parent's going to teach their children how to kill and murder. So where are they getting it from? So this article says 5 killed in 6 days. One question, when will it end? Now, some of us talked about this, that it's going to get into our children, and it's going to touch us as they get younger and younger. And so the mainstream media is having a go at drill music. Now, let me just touch on the drill music thing, yeah? And the whole hip-hop industry and the music industry and what you call the entertainment industry. And it's one of the things that our people are influenced by a lot, yeah? We're so much influenced by the music and entertainment and stuff like that, yeah? And what a lot of people don't understand is that, all right, the drill music, the elements of the drill music, okay, we're talking about in this country, it's coming from this country. Yeah, drill music is what you call, they call it a UK brand of hip hop or music, all right? And it's basically a lot of lyrical contents to do with violence or what goes on out on the street. And it's some of the things, it's not just the lyrics, okay, it's what's projected in some of the drill music as well, and how young people are using social media to interact in this way, yeah? They're using social media in the wrong way. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not working, is it? Yeah? Because we're not controlling the technology once again. And I think a lot of parents don't see the changes with this technology and the influences and the effects of... Oh. Genesis Radio, Sayshara speaking.
Hello?
Yes, G, what's happening?
You can hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you loud and clear. What do you want me to do? You want me to shout in the mic? The last time... the last time you were saying I was too low, yeah? But you can hear me good, yeah?
Yeah, that's good, that's good. What was I saying? Yeah, you sound of drill music, the grime music, the drugs, the hip-hop music, the films, the single mothers, the irresponsible fathers, the drug taking, the money making, the dysfunctional communities, the dysfunctional schools, the uneducated parents, the street life value above everything else. But listen, I think it's gonna be a very hard job, if not an impossible job, or task, to stop the youth from killing one another over drug money. Because I'm about, say, about how long ago? About, say, 7 years ago. Could be a bit longer. About 7 years ago, I met a youth who was about, how old? About, say, 24. Half Caribbean, half African. And he was taking in £6,000 a day selling drugs.
What, in London?
In South East London, in the borough of Greenwich. £6,000 a day he was taking in. And all these young youths working for him, all these young school youths and college youths working for him, he was taking £6,000 a day. Now, the average one must take it about. Don't be the average, because some of them take a lot of the youths nowadays that work for them dealers. You say 12, 13, 14, 15. They earn averagely a week, if they're full-time workers, between say £500 and £900 a week cash.
Right.
Yeah, they're full-time workers.
So where are you getting this from then, anyway?
I just know, I'm not. I used to be in London. I know what's going on. I'm not naive.
I know you're from the streets, yeah? You know what I mean?
I see all going around me, man.
Yeah. So
all going around me.
Yeah.
I see loads of it. I see more than you can imagine.
Yeah.
For example, there was a Somalian 24-hour line that sells it in the borough of Greenwich again. A Somalian line. They're taking £1,000 every 12 hours.
Every 12 hours?
Every 12 hours.
Right. So do you
£1,000 every 12 hours it was taking in.
Yeah. So do you
The line was, the drug line. Hear me. It's quite important. And what's happening was, the owner of the line, the boss, a Somalian brother, he was using the money to build houses back in Somalia and do gun running out there, gun running in Somalia with some terrorist business.
Right.
So there's all sorts of things going on. Then you got the Irish lot, who were the biggest ones out of everyone in at the moment. They're into hundreds of billions, hundreds of millions worth there. The Irish brothers.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of them used to have something to do with the IRA, the ex-IRA gangsters.
Right. So you're putting it down to illicit money, yeah, making.
Drug money, cocaine, heroin.
Cocaine, heroin, anything to do with
and
drugs,
skunk,
right?
And skunk.
So, yeah, there's a long list of stuff as well, isn't there? There's not just other things.
No, but the main thing, the big money makers, money out was the cocaine and the heroin. That's the biggest money makers.
Right.
Because all of the youths are dealing with selling. Always one that are stabbing one another. They're all selling for their bosses.
So,
you know, they smoke the skunk, but they don't sell it. There's no money. They don't have money in that for them. Yeah, they don't have money. A bag full of skunk, a big bag of skunk, they sell for 20 quid. If you fill that bag of skunk with wraps of cocaine and wraps of heroin, it turns about 300 quid. They smoke the skunk, them youths. They don't sell it. They just sell the the hard stuff.
Yeah, but they sell the punk though as well, isn't it?
Say again?
They do sell the skunk as well.
Not so much, no. Not the ones that make the big money, no. But the ones you see make the shooting the stab one, they don't say smoke it, the one that's shooting the stab, don't sell it though. Their bosses don't sell it, they sell the heroin, the crack, and the coke.
Yeah.
They don't deal with they ain't enough money in the skunk for them to sell it.
Yeah.
They won't be able to pay their workers if they're selling the skunk, not enough profit. But my point is, why I explained all that, what could we as black people put in its place for youth to feel more beneficial than earning between 500, the one between 12 and 15 years of age? What beneficial thing could the black community give them youths to make them believe that earning between 500, that is better than them earning 500 to £1,000 a week cash? What could we replace that with?
Well,
now, if we're Jewish now,
Jewish,
and you like us, when I go down to Hatton Garden sometimes, I go to.
Are you serious?
Like on Cooks, for example, a manufacturer and sell a scrap gold and buy a scrap gold. Sell all diamonds, rubies, shanks.
I don't want to go off the topic, but
pardon.
I don't want to go off the topic because I know what you're talking about. Hatton Gardens, okay, with all the jewelers. I don't agree with what's going on there. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying though, them Jewish youths can earn.
Yeah, but where are they getting that? Where are they getting opportunity from? Yeah, but hold on, G. This is the problem that we have. Yeah, the opportunities, right, that you're talking about. You're right. Yeah, our young people need to know what their future is going to be like. Yeah, just what I'm saying. They need to know what their future is going to be. You need to inculcate that. They need to be entrenched in that thinking. Yeah?
I can't hear you very clear on the phone, Sayshara. I can't hear you very clear on the phone, man.
All right. You can't hear me. I'm pretty loud, because I can see the monitor.
No, I can hear your volume, but I can't hear the clarity. I can't hear very clearly, so I'm muffly.
All right, then maybe, I don't know, if you might have to turn something down or something. Or you might have to adjust something. But anyway, what I'm saying is, is you got a good point, right, that young people need to feel. The thing is, some of the things that you highlighted about some of the influences, peer pressure, the music, you know what I'm saying? And
put a loudspeaker up so I can hear better. Put a loudspeaker, yeah? 1 sec.
Okay, alright. So some of the things that you're talking about, the influences of our young people, the way that some of the things are projected in the media, of films, video, games, and all of these different things that you just mentioned, alright, and social media, and that the younger generation, right, within the social environment, they've built up a culture now within that social environment with the cyber web. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? I feel like some of the things that you referred to, have something to do with how young people want to project themselves in social media. They want to project themselves like they're cool, they're blinging, and it's all about that, the get rich and die trying type of mentality, that I got all this stuff, it's all that material stuff, which is superficial, right? Yeah. So when you're talking about, the opportunities, we need to provide, okay? Who's going to provide that? Yeah, we're supposed to provide that. Yeah, but if we're not,
the reason I was talking about the Jewish one, give an example. Jews do provide.
That's a very bad example.
Yeah, but I'm saying that.
Go on, Karen. I'll let you hear what you're saying.
Hear me.
I want to hear you out.
Soldiers, the Muslims having their children working in shops and earning hundreds of pounds a day or thousands of pounds a week in their warehouses or their jewellers or their clothes shops or their manufacturing warehouses or their manufacturing factories or their franchises or whatever. Their children can have that sort of money too. But I'm saying, of all the resources on the planet, as black people, we are more resources than any other
Well, now you're
creed
talking.
or
Now you're talking. Right?
Yeah, we have more resources than any other breed on the planet. And yet, our children are the poorest of all the other children on the planet.
Yeah.
When it comes to our children in the West.
Yeah.
In Western society.
Yeah. Not just in Western society.
I'm saying that's because of us. That's because of black person. Ever since I've been on the Liberation Road, I've had mostly children from Caribbean and Jamaican people have been one of the worst. People from Ghana have been one of the worst. The Rastafarians have been one of the worst. And people from Nigeria have been one of the worst.
Worse what? Worse what?
Africa have been one of the worst.
Worse what though?
They're just intimidating me, exploiting me, doing things against it for white people and government bodies and law people.
Everybody's exploiting.
Keep me locked down.
No, just kind of just dress back a bit, yeah, and just put things into context, like you were just saying, yeah, because I think there isn't.
Bartiman, lesbo, feminist.
When it comes to opportunities, we have to make our own opportunities, okay, based on the things that we already have, yeah.
But it's our own people stopping us from doing it. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
You're right.
It's our own people doing it to us. Ain't no only white people,
yes,
only Indians, only Arabs doing it to our people.
I agree with you.
From my experience, of trying to rise in life, the most oppression I've had from people that look like me.
Yeah,
especially Jamaican people.
Only to a certain only to a certain degree, G.
So if it happened to me, and I'll look around and see a lot of the people that are suffering the same thing I'm suffering, but they're getting it from the same people.
Well, look, right. Let's put things into context once again. Yeah. Now, what you're saying, you're right. Yeah, but only to a certain degree. Yeah. The problem that we have, and we can identify this, is that the type of leadership that we have. That is the problem.
We've got no leadership, though.
Yes, we have.
Puppets.
We've got people
we've got no leadership.
No,
that's rubbish.
No, we've got
leadership. We won't be in this position.
No, we've got leaders.
We've got people that are out for our best exclusive interest for our people.
Yeah.
We would not be. Even if one country done it,
we
wouldn't be in this position.
Whether you think the leadership is good or bad, we got a leadership there that's been used.
I'm not I think they're good or bad. I want about the content of the leadership.
Yeah, but whether you want to accept it or not,
title, content, and the content is that they're not our leaders. They're just puppets, man.
Content, yes.
Well, for corporations, man.
So let's talk about the puppet now, the puppets. All right. So what I'm saying is, we know if you study our story, where we're coming from. I know you study it, So you know, right? The leaders that we have installed are mostly the puppet ones, but they've been installed as puppet leaders, and they've been given an agenda to follow a particular status quo, right?
He's been doing for over 400 years. That's why we changed that position for over 400 or 500 years. He's been put in his mess.
Yeah, but
always been doing.
We don't have to go that far. We don't have to go.
They're getting better for us in the Western American, African, Jamaican, and the Caribbean, American, Africa, and Europe, and the West. Things getting worse.
Right, I feel what you're saying.
It's so worse now.
Yeah,
it's so worse now.
Yeah.
That people, all our leaders are standing by watching their children kill one another. No one's doing nothing about it.
Yeah, right.
Everything's got worse. It's got worse.
Yeah, good. I'm glad that you're passionate about this.
They've seen the history of people like themselves.
Yeah.
Other puppets in the past got away with things.
Yeah.
So they jump on a bandwagon and do worse things now.
Yes, you're right.
That's why the Chinese can move it. That's why Afrikan can move it.
Yeah.
That's why the Arab world can take over. That's why the Indians can take over. That's why the Europeans can take over. Americans can take over. But the Chinese can take over. The Japanese can take over.
Yeah, but look.
Now people are open their arms widely. These so-called puppet leaders open their arms wide and say, "Come in and take. As long as you give us our drink, you take what you want."
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this, you're right about a lot of things, all right? You're right, you're so right, Now, the thing is, how are we going to change? How's that going to change?
Well, I don't think we're ever going to, it's got worse, they getting better. Ever since I've been on the liberation for about 15, 20 years, things have got worse for me and my people.
Yeah, right. So we lose.
I'm being honest, I'm never ever going to get out of it.
So how are we losing the struggle then? Are we losing?
These Africans are worse the Africans who are moving in on the black power structure now in Europe and the Americas and the West. They're worse than the Caribbean ones, a million times worse.
Right, so what?
They're worse.
Right, so...
They're more desperate for money.
Yeah, so now just stop there.
If us Caribbean, listen to one second, Sayshara. If us Caribbean people get squashed by our oppressors, we go back to a council flat or go to some house or something. But them people from Nigeria and Ghana and flipping South Africa, if they flipping turn their back on the Uzungu that tell them to do things against us, they go to a bloody mud hut. They get booted out of the country. So they get under more pressure to keep in line than we are. That's why they do worse things. That's why they're doing worse things.
Yeah. So listen, let's look at things now. Yeah, we're talking about what's happening with our young people here in the United Kingdom. All right, and it's reaching our young children in schools now. Yeah, and we're talking about the different things that they're influenced by, like you just mentioned about criminal activities, okay, and that there's a lot of money to be made selling drugs, okay, and you know, young people are hustling. There's young people are hustling.
For
right?
foreigners again, not for our people, the money being made, but foreigners.
So let me go back to your question about giving young people opportunities and how we can go about giving them opportunities, yeah? Because
better than they've been offered by these criminals.
Right, so look, right, you kind of give
better offer.
You give an example about some Jews down in Hatton Gardens in the city, like the city of London, okay? But you know where the Jews come from, right? So the opportunities are there, but like you said, we're not able to control it because we've got poor, weak, bad leadership. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about that, yeah? But what I'm saying is the situation that we got now, yeah? We only got ourselves. We can't depend on these leaders, all right? We have to hold these leaders to account for their actions or their non-actions, and we have to judge them accordingly, yeah? But at the same time, right, we're dealing with a system, right, that basically are oppressing our people and the good leadership, okay, and they're installing these poor leaders, okay, because look, we've worked it out, right? G, we have worked out what's going on. We know what's going on, yeah, but they're trying to fool us, yeah, and try to pretend that we don't know what's going on. We're not ignorant no more, right? We got to tell these people for what they are. We don't have to hide, yeah. We know that they're using our leaders to exploit us, yeah, right?
Yes, exactly right.
Right? They're also using the currency.
And buying them vast amounts of money.
No, let's talk about the fiat currency. The fiat currency, yeah? They're using the money as well, right? They're using the resources. They're using the labor of our people, right? Everybody's got the opportunity to exploit us, all right? And the things that we got things in abundance, yeah? But it makes us look like we haven't got anything, right? Because they actually control it. Huh?
You something there says you say you've got things in abundance. We've got things in abundance in our continent in practice. The people that have stealing it have got it in theory, and yet they're being more practical. They're having more practical usage of it than us. They've got it in the parasites and colonizers and thieves and robbers and leeches towards our continent. Well, not us, of the ones that ain't us. They've got what's ours in theory, and we've got it in practice as we come from our land, under our ground where we come from, and where we reside. Yeah. But yet, the use of it, when it comes to using them resources, they use it practically, and we use it theoretically.
Yeah, because look, we're not supposed to develop. It's like we're not allowed to develop ourselves. We're not allowed to be able to develop ourselves. That's why a lot of these countries in the Caribbean and Africa, after decades after decades after decades, yeah, they're not developed, right? But yet we've got the United Nations, we've got the Commonwealth, we've got all these organizations, right, that's exploiting our people, yeah? All they need to do, It's simple. You got 54 leaders in Africa, right? All they need to do is put them in a club and put them in their pocket. As long as they can control them 6 leaders, right? They can control millions and millions of our people, the whole entire continent of our people. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Caribbean. So how many Caribbean leaders there? What, a dozen? Right? So all they need to do is control about 60 leaders. 60 people. That's not rocket science. It's not hard to tell. Now, between the Arab leaders and the African leaders, it's well documented, that you got the branch of the CIA, you got all these different,
With some people from Ghana, Africans from Ghana, they seem to be very involved in the CIA.
Right, so what I'm saying...
On Africans and all over the world.
The CIA is very, very busy like a bee, So they go around and start destabilizing all these countries if they don't play ball, if they don't play...
And people and individuals in their liberation too.
Right. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people listen to this, me and you talking, might say, well, boy, Sayshara, right? You still putting the emphasis on the Europeans, okay? And not the... No, it's both the Europeans controlling the few black leaders. That is the issue, right? These few little... These leaders here, right? They install them. They put them there in a place, right? And then they don't say, oh, we're going to exploit you. They get corporations to do it. They get industries to do it. They get the Roman Catholic Church to do it. Do you get what I'm saying? They get other groups. They get NGOs to do it. They get anybody that they want to exploit them. And then when anything, it's like the mercenaries. You know, there's a lot of information about the mercenaries. What the Europeans are good at doing, not just the Europeans, what they do, if they send in mercenaries into your country, to destabilize your country, they'll find a way.
Margaret Thatcher's son was trying to do it. He got caught, Margaret Thatcher's son.
Right. So Maggie Thatcher's son, Mark Thatcher, as you know, anybody can do research on Mark Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, who was the prime minister, first woman prime minister in this country, that's passed away some time ago. Her son was involved in to do with that helicopter and that coup.
Coup,
I can't even remember the country now, right?
African country in Africa.
But he was allowed to get away with it. Why? Because there's a lot of people in the ruling classes, the elite.
Benefit out of it.
They're immune for prosecution.
Other African type too. A lot of people, Africans waged up for that.
Because this is what I'm saying. You see, when they join the United Nations, they're immune from a lot of things. This is what I'm saying. They're immune. They're getting paid by the United Nations. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're only thinking about now. They're not thinking about the future. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why these leaders sell out. There's two reasons why these leaders sell out. They either threatened...
I can tell. When you see them leaders, all these African leaders, that the ones that are put in charge of our countries, they have got devices in their head that a Zungu can hear everything they think.
I think
they don't sound like once they decide to get and work for a Zungu, controlling billions of pounds, in some cases trillions, they can't do nothing about it. Why they're dead meat.
Right, so you see, the thing is, if our leadership don't take control of our people, and you got the Chinese are in there, the Asians are in there, the Arabs are in there, right, as well as the Europeans, right? In a way, they're all working together. All the leaders are all working together to find ways, and they're going to spend 24 hours a day, as much money as possible, and as much resources as possible to find ways to exploit not just Africa and the continent of Africa, but the Caribbean as well, because there's resources in the Caribbean as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So they're going to find every trick in the book, right, to find a way to get the resources, because they're not done with that yet. Do you get what I'm saying?
They're never going to stop. They see they got away with it for so long, so they're never going to stop, man.
So how can we give our children, how are we going to give our children opportunities, when we can't even control our land, our resources, our air, our water, our sea?
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
We're not allowed, you're telling me we're not allowed to do that?
Don't forget this. The ones that in place that are in control of our resources, these puppet Africans, once they decide to take on that role, if they object against it halfway through the dead meat, there's no way they can get out of it.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, no, it's all right. You just said.
Yeah, there's no way they can get out of it. If they don't comply, once they take on the oath, and once they get in a position where they've got the power and they can pull the strings of the resources of South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Diamond Coast, Sierra Leone, wherever, Congo, Botswana.
So what's the cause of it, yeah? So the thing is, what I'm saying is, yeah, just look at the root causes of these things, right? And I think
that's what we're discussing now, the root cause.
Yeah, I know, but
these root causes affect people
but this,
all over the world.
psychologically, the mindset of our people, yeah, and the leadership that we have.
I think after all this time we've learned, we can't. What us African original people have to learn, we can't, because of our past, our track of history for the last 400 or 500 years. And we're always looking for leader this, leader that, and our enemies know that we're looking for leader this, leader that, leader this, leader that. So they've got like a way of fooling us with our leaders, like a trickery when it comes to our leaders. Like they learn to produce our leaders that are full of tricks for us, not for them, but for us.
Yeah.
These leaders supposed to be leading.
Yeah, because
I think this is me. I think we're not going to be able to look for leaders now. We're going to have to try a different strategy to do things individually in the home for ourselves.
Right, now you're talking, yeah? So what we need to be looking at, obviously, if we're making the same, if we identify a problem, yeah, you got to just find a way to rectify it, yeah? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the biggest problem that we got is that we got poor people representing us, yeah? All right? And anybody can come into our communities, into our societies, into our country and nation. Yeah, look what the Chinese are doing. They're pissing all over Africa and China. Remember, we had a conversation about that some time ago. How many years ago? And I told you I don't agree with the Chinese coming into Africa or the Caribbean, right? And they're going to take Libby's. And what are they doing now? They're taking Libby's. Was I wrong?
No, you weren't wrong. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, yeah, look, we have to be clear about our own reality, about the things that we want, not what everybody else want, because all they're going to do is find a way to exploit us. That's what the Chinese are doing, the Asians, the Arabs. None of them care about us. Never have, never will. I'll tell you that all day long. Yeah, and a lot of people can say, "Oh, Sayshara, you're racist, you're this, you're that." I don't care how people think. Yeah, all I care about is what's best for my people, and none of these people are best for our people. Yeah, and I'm not talking about individuals. I'm not talking about little grassroots people in the ground, the common law people. I'm talking about the filthy rich class in the Arabs countries, in the Chinese country, in the European countries, and the all of them. Yeah, these are the political class and the economic class. Okay, I'm talking about these people. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Because you saw what's going on in Saudi Arabia, you see what's going on in Israel, even in Pakistan. Pakistan, I was shocked to hear this. I'm going to just come off topic a little bit. The other day, they released a woman from prison. She served 8 years
for blasphemy.
For blasphemy, right? So-called blasphemy, whatever that is. What is blasphemy, right? Anyway, she was in prison. They wanted to execute her. How barbaric is that, right? But you got the United Nations that's supposed to be the peacekeeping of the missionaries of the bloody planet Earth, okay? And they sit down there doing nothing. What are we doing with these people? Yeah? Why are our leaders signing up to these people? You know it's a boys' club, isn't it? Yeah? And they're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. They get privileges. This is what I'm saying, yeah? The Europeans have got our leaders. They package them, yeah? They package them in a box, put a wrapping on them and a little bow on it. Yeah, I'm saying, because that's how these leaders are coming. Yeah, right? They don't serve our interests. They're serving.
I'm not thinking of. Do you believe if you have got some money in your house, Sayshara, you've got money in your house, yeah?
Dream on.
Someone who the money doesn't belong to is blocking you from getting up, going getting the money out of your house when you need it. Do you think if you get in your house without that person knowing, your own house, you know, without that person knowing, get your money when you need it, do you think you're doing something wrong?
No.
So that is why I say, us African people, us black people, have got to start making alliances with black people in places like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Uganda, the Gold Coast, Sierra Leone, all these African continents, and start smuggling the resources out of the country to the west so we can benefit off of it without us knowing. We've got to make an alliance amongst us black people, the same way, instead of swallowing these black people swallowing capsules full of cocaine and coming from South America and coming from Jamaica. We should be swallowing diamonds and rubies. Which can't be detected.
Yeah, but your
and bring
theory.
them back to this country and make up. And don't look at it as stealing.
Yeah, but people
look at it as taking what is ours.
People probably do that already. Yeah, but I wouldn't advise it because I don't think.
Why would you advise?
No, because I don't think. Why should we have to go to those kind of low-level lengths? Okay.
What's low level about taking what's I did doing it? They take it in our face.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if you get caught,
it don't belong to them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
take it covertly and it belongs to us.
Me and you.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, me and you. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, if me and you do something like that and get caught, they're just gonna bang us up in prison, right? So what I'm saying is, they can do things and get away with it. This is the problem, right? Because the Chinese have gone in there. How many times have they gone into?
Well, I would feel more righteous
What?
going to prison for what is mine and what someone else is stealing off of me, and someone taking from me, and me taking what's rightfully mine, rather than what was a diamond or rubies or emeralds. I feel more righteous going to prison for that, which I'm going to benefit off, and my people are going to benefit off if I get away with it, rather than doing the same thing with drugs that are going to poison my community, destroy lives, and destroy my community and benefit the drug cartels in South America or in Afghanistan.
Yeah, but you know, the comparisons.
I think we've got to start thinking like that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
it's what
it does.
If it ain't that, we've got to get militant.
You got to think up something better than that.
We've got to find a way to covertly take out Africa and bring to parts of the country, parts of the world rather, our resources that we own, that other people are robbing off of us and killing us for, and suffering our people for, and diseasing our people for, and genociding our people for, and starving our people for. It belongs to us too because we come from there. I think we got to start finding some covert way of taking our share of it and benefiting ourselves, our people with it. By taking it out of Africa the same way they are, and bring it to the same parts of the world, and us benefiting financially from it, is to get out of this new fashion or this new rage of our people doing the same thing with drugs and destroying our communities at the same time.
I think your idea is lacking, you know. Sorry, it's not going to work, right? Because all they're going to do is lock us up and they're going to make money out of us being locked up in prison, and then they're going to confiscate wherever we got. They're going to find out how we're going to go about doing it, yeah. And it's going to be game, set, and match, bro. You know, to me,
no, but you be pessimistic about it, Sayshara,
no.
Lock us up.
I
don't really lock us up. We can take, if they lock us up, we can go to a human rights court and say, we're doing it.
Who runs the human rights court? All these humanitarian organisations, bruv. Let's be real about it.
Human rights to have a share of our resources.
The human rights.
You
know what?
Human rights to have it.
You know what? We got to stop talking about these human rights people because they ain't doing jack for us, bruv. Yeah? You're talking about for decades, yeah? They've been talking about...
No, not their human rights, our human rights sometimes.
Yeah, but how are we going to protect our rights? By going to the same people that claim to be... that claim they're going to protect our rights when they're exploiting us at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying? We've got to be able to have
it's rather that. It's rather that, or we've got to turn militant.
Well,
make a militant stand and to say when we say to say enough is enough.
I hear that.
Across the African continent.
I hear that.
Be militant about it.
I mean, if the problem is that we've got a poor leader. You see, the leadership that we've got. You see, let's talk about militancy.
Be militant about it, and be willing to take the consequence, knowing that we're doing it for our future generations.
Let's look at your theory for a second. Let's look at it for a minute.
The Jews done it.
Let's look at your theory. The Jews, who's supporting the? Who supports the Jews? Who's supporting the Jews?
Say again?
Who's supporting them? They're getting support, innit?
No, that's after they made a stand. No one supports that. The bribe Americans should kill British politicians to get where they got in Israel now.
They're all in conclusion. They were in collusion
when they first said enough is enough, we have to take over now. We have to establish our own overland, a place for ourselves that we're in control of. They had to kill the British and to kill the Americans.
You think so?
Look at look at the history. Look and read it up.
They've been killing the Americans.
That's what they call letting go of terrorists.
Who?
You blocked some hotel with the British politicians and army in it, innit? They blocked some boat with loads of British soldiers on it. They were trying to press them.
Right, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not saying we should turn tail. That's an example of what the Jews done to take control of their land, to take control of Israel.
When
everything was against them.
I didn't.
So we got to make a stand.
Yeah.
Maybe even a militant stand to say enough is enough in Africa.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's the way that the examples that you're giving is just not working. Yeah, you keep on talking about these Jews, right?
No, there's three examples. That's an example to say.
I know, but it's a poor example.
Of what other people done.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
We got to take a militant stand across the African continent.
Have you seen the
all these praying visit to Jesus and all this bullshit?
Have you seen that film? All right, listen to this.
Let's just make this big more celebrities of us, man.
All right, what did you think about?
The softer we are, the harder they press us. The harder we are, the softer they press us.
So, what do you think about like people like
scaredy cat days? You got to be over with us, man. We're too scared. We'll put some courage, some spirits, and some courage in us, man.
So
we're going to whips. Because they're agents and sufferers of the planet of the world at the moment, and why we're being depressed so much. We're the whips.
So
we're standing up for ourselves.
So what do you think about?
We're being aggressive enough. We're too passive. It ain't helping just causing people to see they can abuse the men, do they abuse the wife, do they abuse the kids?
I agree with you, right? So
do they do it at home? Do they do it abroad?
Yeah, but you see, this system.
So if we don't take a militant stand,
they don't want middle. Yeah, but
all the Western telling nationalists now.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to be militant.
We have to be militant.
Yeah, but how?
We'll get wiped out.
You're not allowed to.
We'll be a race that once was.
Gee, but
we don't get militant.
You're not allowed to be militant. There's a thing called.
No, we think that, but sure, but everyone else would do it. But it looks right for us, and we're whips.
Right. So what I'm saying is, yeah, look.
We've got to admit that. I'm black with a whips, man. We've got to admit that, man.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot
we are whips.
Let me say something.
Unless we stand up and just start getting militant, we'll get wiped out and all our future generations will have nothing.
The thing I was saying.
Let
me go back.
Nelson Mandela, the old Nelson Mandela. I don't know his latest Nelson Mandela was, but the first Nelson Mandela, when he got militant, I respected him.
Yeah.
He's the only one that ever respected the whole history of South Africa. Someone got militant.
Yeah, but then, like you said, he went to
all the other leaders. They never respected none of them in the history.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
You know, in the history books.
Yeah, I mean, like I agree with you that maybe Nelson Mandela. I don't know. I don't trust a lot of these leaders. Yeah, so his past. Some people can be trained or conditioned to seem like they're resisting. Yeah, but then they're one of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Right?
My theory about Nelson Mandela, the latest one, the last Nelson Mandela was a lookalike of the original.
Yeah, so now you're talking about these clone stuff, yeah? I don't know about that.
No, surgery, surgery. I don't know if surgery can do that. Surgery can do that. Plastic surgery.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do. That's what I'm mentioning.
So you're saying.
And so the Nation of Islam looked into that too, didn't they? They were suspicious about that too, the same thing. But not until after suggested anyway. But back to what I was saying. Us Africans, we've got to stop being wimps, man. We've got to stop being wimps and stand up for our families, our continents, our space in the world. Or we're just get wiped out. It's getting worse.
Yeah, but we don't.
They can blow the man over. They can turn a woman against a man, and turn a woman anti-black, and turn a woman anti-afro hair to straight hair, and turn a woman to dress like a white one, think like a white one, eat like a white one, walk like a white one, and everything like a white one, pray like a white woman, think like a white woman, walk like a white woman, nothing black about them at all. They go for them, mash up the man, blown over the man, attack the woman and on the case of the children, wiping the children out, and corrupting the children. We've got to stand up, man. The only way we're going to be able to challenge is by being militant. If we're not militant, we're going to get wiped out. They see that they know from the history, we must understand they've always been putting fear in us to make us fear standing up for ourselves. They've conditioned us for 400 and 500 years with fear. It's in our gene to be fearful to do anything about our oppression.
Yeah,
it's in our genes. It's part of our genotype now. They've done it for so long.
Yeah.
It's gone through generation.
Right. So what I'm saying is, you're right.
The kids seeing their being blown over. The dad weak with no power. The mum weak with no power. And the Zungu take the mick out of them, take advantage of them at home and abroad. So for far as I'm concerned, the only way we're going to do anything about it is show some resistance by being militant. Why we're never going to be able to stand up for ourselves ever.
Yeah, but
who's passing because they getting us nowhere,
there's been a lot of talk about being militant, but no one knows how to go about it.
We have to learn how to go about it, innit?
Yeah, have you watched that film Spook by the Door? The Spook by the Door.
I've seen that, yeah. I've seen it years ago.
Right.
But
okay.
I had it on my computer. I used to watch it over and over and over. But I'm saying that we're going to have to learn how to be militant.
Yeah, but you...
We learned the Uzungu's way of life. We give him that back and learn to be militant, stand up for our resources, our people, of course, in Africa and across the world.
So do you know about in America? Yeah, but listen to this, yeah. Listen to this, yeah. In America, right, and they practice it here, yeah. I remember we had a conversation about TI, target individuals. You talked to great length about that, yeah, right. But now they got this thing called black extremism. Have you heard about it? Or
black extremism.
They call it black identity extremism. BIE. Yeah? Right?
I can't hear that again.
BIE. Black.
BIT.
No, E. E for.
BIE. BIE.
Yeah. BIE. Bi. Yeah?
Black identity extremism.
Yes. Right? So what I'm saying is they're already planning things ahead of us, okay? To deal with our leadership, to deal with anybody that's radical or revolutionary or militant. They got things in place. Like they're probably listening to us right now, yeah, watching us.
Well, we turn militant, they're gonna have to deal with us. They're not gonna be thinking about it. They have to deal with them. We're gonna have to stand up and challenge them. That's what I'm talking about. Forget about what they think, what their plans are.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Their plans.
I think that.
So we got to start doing.
But at the moment, we're not.
Start thinking about what they're gonna do against us. That's the defeat is thinking, man.
We're not structured
what they're
enough.
gonna do against. We have to forget all that nonsense about what they think about what they're going to do against us. We
Yeah.
also think what we're going to do against them to defend ourselves and stand up for what is ours.
Yeah, I know, but
We've got to start thinking old dog. We've got to start turning things around. Because what you said is some scary thing. What they plan to our black leaders think about our black liberals. Forget that.
We didn't forget that.
We got to start thinking what we can do for ourselves, what our intentions are.
What can we do?
Forget their intentions. What our intentions are.
I'm asking you.
Obviously, we've got to protect ourselves and think about what the possibilities, what they could do against us to defend ourselves. Obviously, yes, that's logic. Yeah. But another strategy to reach your objective.
But what I'm saying is
we've got to start thinking completely different and start thinking of ways to stand up militantly. What is ours in Africa to protect our families, and men, women and children.
You're not listening, are you?
Start being militant about protecting our resources.
Do you think what you're saying? Do you think what you're saying is easier said than done? Right.
Obviously,
So what I'm saying is that don't you think? Don't you think people's thought about that?
If we tell a wimp to stand up, obviously a wimp is going to find it difficult, isn't it? If we tell a wimp, that's a wimp for 400 or 500 years.
No.
Stand up for him or
There's
her
people.
himself.
There's people that's for.
And you're telling them to stand up for. Oh,
No.
you're going to find it difficult.
No, hold on, G, slow down a bit. Slow down a minute. Yeah. There hasn't been a time, yeah, that we haven't resisted. Tell me a time when black people haven't resisted and fought and died. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have the weapons of mass destruction. So what I'm saying is, yeah, we're not
challenging the army or anything.
The idea, look, the idea that we're defeating.
Suicide person, man.
No.
No individual business. The African
The suicide thing don't work.
African people, black people that
Look.
have a new attitude to be militant about defending their resources.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you just mentioned,
Nothing-
you're
it
mentioning
hasn't
all
done
these
before, I'm talking
ideas.
about.
You're mentioning all these ideas, but you can't tell me how it's going to work.
I can't hear what?
You're saying all these different things, yeah? You're mentioning these ideas, how we need to be able to empower ourselves, right? Essentially, that's what you want. And I think that most people that's got any brains in their head, yeah, would want that, yeah? But what I'm saying is, yeah, unless you have some concrete strategy.
You won't be talking on a bloody radio, would you?
No, but what I'm saying is,
just give a basic idea. We'll tell about intellect and religions and kind of act it.
We could
Come
talk
on, man. You want to sense, man.
No, we can
We're
fair.
not going to get detail about what I've been naming some fucking bloody terrorist about. But what we should, what ins and out and
No,
detail.
what I'm saying is we can
I'm
hypothesize.
a blanket statement.
Yeah,
a blanket statement. What we need to do.
Yes, that's right, and I'm
It's
challenging
not being wimps like we've been for the last 400, 500 years.
Yes, but
We get militant about things and
Yes,
stand and
yes,
protect our resources, which we've never done before.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being tough and standing tough and all of that, yeah? But what I'm saying, I'm here, I'm the host, right? I have to ask you the question, what is the strategy? Because people have been talking about this for years. You mentioned about being militant, yeah? There's been many people for hundreds of years that's been fighting against the system, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
What about the system? What about what our continent? You're going about to do it in this country, America. Now, what about that? But to do it in our own land, Africa, where our resources are.
Yeah.
Be militant about stopping people from taking our resources. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, then let's talk in hindsight. Let's talk in
rubbish and system. What about no system rubbish?
Right.
Forget system. But resources, a lot of black people all over the world standing up for our resources on the African continent.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, yeah, let's theorize this thing, yeah, right?
Did you know that one of the biggest gold mines in the world is in Australia, and Aboriginal people living in outback in land that you can't even grow nothing on? Is some little huts being fed alcohol and poisonous concoctions to sniff and drink and die at a young age and end up in madhouse and full up the prisons. They're one of the biggest gold mines in the world, you know, at the moment. They're shipping all miners from all over the world.
Where's that, Tom?
It's in Australia somewhere. And shipping all these miners all over the world and paying hundreds of dollars a day that would get the gold out quick. So much of it in Australia.
Mm.
And that's Aboriginal people's gold. Look what else happened to them. No race and no bloody wiped out.
So
you could put a whole Aboriginal race in Deptford. The whole Aboriginal race in Australia you could fit in Deptford. And that Aboriginal race was abundant, like white people, black people, Asian people, Arab people. There was abundant as that before the Europeans got there. Mm. And they haven't stood up for themselves. Look how they've ended up. You said we've got militant.
Yeah, you know.
Years ago, they would be wiped out now. At least they'll probably some of them have something to show for, but none of them got nothing. They were wimps like us black people are.
Well,
Didn't stand up for themselves. And think it's illegal to defend what's theirs. They've been brainwashed for so bloody long.
No, we got every right to defend ourselves, yeah? By all means. You know what I'm saying?
Defend our resources, I want about, and stop being bloody robbed.
The way that's got to happen, yeah, is that, you know, we got to get rid of these poor, weak leaderships for a start. Yeah.
We've never had no bloody leadership. Forget about leaders. They won't had no leaders.
Whether they're good or bad, let me explain to you.
Think we've got not good or bad, nothing. We have never had any leaders as black people.
No.
They've all been put there.
So why are we in this position then?
For oppressors.
So why are we in this position then? Why are we in this position then?
So again?
We're going back to what you were saying earlier on, yeah? If we never had any leadership, why are we in this position?
Never, ever.
Yeah, but why are we in this position then?
Why are we in this position?
Yeah, I'm going back to what you said. The reason why we're in this position is because of that. You said that.
Yes,
Remember?
that's right. Yes, we've never had any leaders, right? Genuine leaders, right?
Right. So what I'm saying is, we're just going knocking heads, yeah? Let's move this thing forward now, yeah? So what I'm saying is this, yeah? We've got a situation here in England, in London, yeah? The levels of violence, it's not just here, is it? Yeah? What I'm worried about, yeah, is they only talk about black people being in this kind of thing, about violence. There's other people that get involved.
What I believe the reason why them youths are the way they are, they've been conditioned. They did not teach themselves how to be violent from a cradle. They've taught all these things by things they've been fed, information they've been fed with that have made them into what they are. The same way, if you grow up with a big house, a big estate house in the countryside, and all you hear around you is classical music, and you've got pure Shakespeare books around you, and all the science books around you, all the English books in your dad or your mum and dad's library in part of the house, then you go to private school, you're going to be familiar with the information they're teaching you. That is what your wealthy family have got in your house. That's what your dad was taught, that's what your mum was taught, your brother was taught, your sister was taught. And all the information that you've been fed with by your environment is what has conditioned you to end up going to a school that is going to make you a ruler of the world. And in the same way, then people conditioned to be like that by the information they're fed with, by the aristocratic society they're in the same way these working class black kids are fed with information that makes them into what they are. Self-destructive, criminal-minded, violent, psychopathic, merciless that they've got nowadays, genocidal, uneducated, materialistic. It's all been fed to them. It is not their fault. It's what you call conditioning, psychological conditioning. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because they're in a system that thinks.
Do you remember
a certain way of them? The system have fed them what they think they're worth.
Yeah. Do you remember that in reference? Because you know, like, it's Sunday. It's still Armistice Day to this system. Yeah. And you know that they're worshipping all this stuff to do with violence, right? Can you imagine that they are paying homage to violence, yeah? The 100-year celebration of what they call the Great War. I don't know what's so great about millions and millions and millions of people being killed off, right? But you see that they spend a lot of money and time and energy and resources to do this whole ritual. No, listen. This ritual, yeah, that they do every year. They force people to wear these red poppies and all of this stuff, okay? And they make
I don't want to contract on them. I want to contract on us. Forget about them for a minute, sir. I don't want to contract on what
No, but what I'm trying to say to you, yeah, I'm talking about the levels of violence.
Anything includes our people. What I'm talking about is some analysing our situation, our youth situation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we're replicating. We're replicating.
Why are you doing what they're doing?
But you just said it. We're replicating and perpetuating their behaviours, right? So we got some of our black people today, yeah, in this country and maybe in other countries, all right? They're all worshipping this stuff.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying? You see the mindset?
My conclusion is about our youth. My conclusion is about our youth. And all this murder, killing each other, all this drug selling, this drug glamorization, materialism glamorization.
Yeah, but it's coming from adults.
Glamorization,
it's coming from adults.
Content, violent, psychopathic, lyrical gangland, lyrical content in their music they listen to, if they're being conditioned by their enemies to be destructive with information, it's all information. The information that our youth receive from their enemies is to make them destructive. It's up to the least our community can do is make an attempt to pump in information to make them positive, to counteract it.
Bro, you don't hear what I'm saying to you, yeah? Our
war,
people is in a comatose state. What are you talking about? They're in a comatose state. Today, what I'm saying, they're in a comatose paralysis. They're in a state right now, yeah, of paralysis. They're in a comatose state, yeah? So what I'm saying is, yeah, right, we're quite happy to fight for this country, right, yeah, and kill people. Do you get what I'm saying? And go around the world and you know, what I'm saying is people worshipping this killing field. Do you get what I'm saying? The violence is right there. It's right. The system is propagating it, right? Do you get what I'm saying? And celebrating it. That's just the thing. Now, we can get deeper into this thing if we really want to, yeah? When we start talking about all this satanic behavior that goes on, yeah? The bloodletting and the bloodthirsty, you know what I'm saying? Yeah? Why these things are happening. The purge. Yes, I'm saying? Or what they call the culling. The culling of people.
But talking basically about it though, in the basic ways, any simple.
But so the behavior.
To simplify what I'm saying.
Right. So what I'm saying.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. So the behavior.
Our kids are being fed negative information.
Right.
It's up to their community to
feed
them
but
positive
do you remember when you was
That's what
growing
I'm
up, G? Let's be clear. When you was growing up, what was you watching on TV? Huh?
I wasn't watching. I wasn't listening to the average TV, watching the average TV, or listening to the average music that all my peers are listening to. I was listening to something completely different.
So you weren't watching cowboys and Indian and westerns and all these gangster films?
No, I didn't really watch a lot of TV when I was younger. I didn't watch
Right.
a lot of TV.
So what I'm saying is,
I
yeah.
haven't got a TV now. I don't really watch my TV. I haven't got a TV.
So what I'm saying is, yeah. We're in.
I was on internet though.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not TV.
So what I'm saying, look, the behavior that we're exhibiting, yeah, we was brought up like that. We was brought up in a world where we thought violence. Some of us thought that violence was just a normal thing.
Oh, so at one stage, I thought violence was a normal thing at one stage of my life. I was much younger.
That's what I'm
saying.
talking
It's all about information.
Yeah, but if you don't get the information, if you don't get the proper information,
our kids are being fed all this negative information.
Yeah,
it's up to us as their community and the elders to feed them positive information to counteract the negative information.
Yeah, but
it's an information war.
Yeah, right.
It's an input and output war.
Yeah.
What you put in is what you get out.
So the thing is,
what is coming out of our kids isn't because what they're putting in themselves is what the environment is putting in them.
That's right.
And the people who've got access to their attention are putting in them.
That's right, and that's why people say that
they are reproducing
a product
acting out.
That's right.
The consequence of that information.
Yeah. So you're a product of your environment. People say this all the time. You're a product of your environment. Okay.
Or input, or what input you receive.
So,
information input, image or sound, word sound.
Yeah.
Input you're taking in.
Yeah. So
if they're taking a certain type of input, and we see the consequence of it, it's up to us to work out information or input to counteract the negative input they're receiving.
Yeah, but we're not doing it at the present moment, are we?
No, we're not doing it at all. I don't think any of us have got the knowledge of what to do. I don't think many of us care about what needs to be done.
Yeah, so there's not enough of us able to move
But
things.
more so, a lot of us haven't got the intelligence to know what to do or know what the problem is. I'm serious.
No, I understand.
I don't think many of these African Heritage people are educated in a way to help themselves.
But we
always used to be the help other people doing the work for them.
Yeah, but we have got some people, yeah, but we're just not coming together collectively.
We're never going to do that.
We're never. So you're
Never, ever,
now you're being
never, ever, ever.
now you're being defeatist. You turn around telling
If
me.
they're defeatist, I'm going to I'll experience the last 15, 20 years on the liberation road myself. We're never coming together.
So how are we gonna be militant then? According to your theory.
But not this part coming together in Africa, yeah, but not over in outside Africa. And what I'm saying about being militant, I'm up doing that in Africa to protect their resources. Not about over here. They're not have resources over here, have we?
No,
but where our resources are.
Yeah. So
about being militant where our resources are, nowhere else.
Right.
If we're going to be militant in this part of the world, the way I apply militancy is to be hard-working, conscientious towards changing the information and input that our youngsters are receiving. When I mean being militant, I want to be being like militant with arms, that sort of stuff. I mean being militant by being hard-working to counteract it. This information, this input our youth receive to make them have such negative behaviour. It's all that information, what has gone in their systems. So what's gone in their systems needs to be analysed and counteracted.
Yeah.
All the psychoanalytical degrees our people have got are based on some Freudian psychoanalysis, which is orientated towards saying every boy and girl wants to sleep with her father, every boy wants to sleep with his mother, and all this cunnilingus speeches about how to turn a heterosexual man into gay by doing certain sexual action like Sigmund Freud stated. So the old perspective and attitude of psychoanalysis that our people know about and been taught about in this side of the world got no use for us. So it has to be very intelligent people to work out some psychoanalytical methodologies to find out and conclude what the problem is of our people, the content of what they've been conditioned with, and how to counteract it.
Yeah, but no, we got a lot of knowledge.
We haven't got none, man. They were doing it the day we did.
No, hold on. No, I disagree with you there. There's a lot of information now.
I know none of them. I've heard none of them that I know be capable of doing it. I ain't come across none of them. Name some to me. Name some to me now about
No. Be specific about what you're saying then. What can they do? What are you talking about? What can we do?
What
can we do?
What can we do, you said?
Yeah.
What it said. What needs to be done?
Say that again?
Say that 3 times.
Say that again?
3 different ways I explained it.
No, I'm not following you.
Oh, good.
Straight up, I'm not following you.
Because I use too much specialised terminology. I was saying that what needs to be done is our children, youngsters who have got these negative attitudes and negative behaviour, they need to be psychoanalysis to find out the content of the negative input they have been conditioned with to make them act so negatively.
Yeah, so let me. Yeah, you're right.
So listen.
No, I heard you. I get you now.
Once that content has been understood, methods of counteracting that content should be acquired to counteract that content, to change it from negative to positive, thus counteracting the negative input with positive input, which would change their behaviour.
Yeah.
It's down to the input of negative input.
This is
why their behaviour is negative.
Right. So this is what.
If it's counteracted with positive input, their behaviour will be inputted to make them the information will be positive to the input to make them positive behaviour.
Yeah. So this is what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I haven't come across none of our people that are capable of doing that. That's what I'm saying.
No, I was talking about this earlier, G.
Psychoanalysis that our people have learned from this side of the world is all based on Freud and some paedophilia and gender bending rubbish.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So what I'm
saying, roll the that way.
I hear you. I hear you.
This foil and psychoanalysis.
All right, so look, let me reply to what you're saying, yeah, because this is exactly what I was saying earlier on, right? With all this situation with some of the young people, right, that's been happening, yeah, we can talk about this, we can summarize this, okay, yeah, and make some comparisons, because one of the things I said, yeah, we do need to do more research, right? We need to get into the minds of our young people, right, to get them to understand their cultural behavior, this youth cultural behavior, right? I think one of the things that we need to look at is the social media aspect of it, all right, and how they influence. You know, I think that's the biggest influence, right? We've done the music thing, we've studied all that. There's a lot of things that's been studied already, G, right? In certain areas about the things that you know, young people's been affected or our people have been affected. We studied all these things, yeah. We know that, yeah. But this social media thing, we haven't really studied done the research, the thorough research to find out how are young people really affected by it, because you know, they're watching, they're projecting themselves now, yeah. It's all about their projection, right, and what they're saying on social media, and that's what they're interested in. They're not interested in what me and you are talking about or what's on TV and all of this stuff, right? They're in their own little bubble right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So we do need to do that thorough investigative research, okay, to really get into the minds of our young people and how they're affected by the social media, right? Because what they
analyze someone's mind in simplification, you call it psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
Psycho meaning mind, analysis means analyzing.
So maybe
means analyzing people's
right.
mind.
So maybe that needs to be updated.
The negative content needs to be psychoanalyzed and then once it's understood, it should be responded to with a positive content from our people to counteract the negative content and change it, turn it around into something positive. I'm saying, as simple as that.
Yeah.
Ain't no research, nothing. It's as simple as that.
No, what we mean? You got all right. Look, let's put this away. I'm going to give you an example. Now, let's talk about when our parents came here. The Windrush generation came here. Yeah, right. You know there wasn't no violence, innit? We weren't fighting and killing each other. Yeah, right. That never happened throughout. I'm not saying little bits and scraps never happened. Yeah. But throughout from 1948, the 50s very rarely happened. The 60s very rarely happened, right? I think as we're coming into the 70s, the mid 70s and all of this stuff, okay, remember there was a real strong black power movement, yeah? Right? And so we was very, very strong collectively, yeah? And so I think that the more we become integrated and assimilated into this culture, because we just come into it really, yeah. So I'm saying where before we was kept out of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And now we're starting to be part of the system where we're doing the jobs that they used to do. For example,
listen, I don't see our children being conditioned culturally through cultural music and especially cultural music by white people singing the music to them. It's black people singing it condition them negatively. It's black people singing this grime. It's black people singing this drill. It's black people singing that reggae that was about shooting and popping. It's black people singing that hip hop about drive-bys, hoes and bitches and all this business. And white people singing these things. It's our own black people doing it to them. So I'm saying that. Forget about the blame game. Forget about the blame game. Ain't going to help us. Forget about the blame game.
It's not about blame. Hold on, no.
Find out the content
G.
is going on in our children.
This is not a conversation, bruv.
Make them think this way and have this negative behaviour and kind of act it. As simple as that.
No, hold on.
Forget about the blame and all.
No, let me slow you down, bruv. Let me dress you back, yeah? Because no one's blaming anybody. What we're doing is dealing with the facts here right now. Deal with the facts, yeah? Now, you want to talk about the music industry, right? You tell me what part of the music industry black people control. Tell me. All right? Let me tell you.
Jay-Z controls his own company. Puff Daddy controls his own company.
They don't control Jack, bro.
He controls his own company.
They don't control nothing, yeah?
He's a big player, gentlemen. Jay-Z, he's bringing that transgender Rihanna. He's bringing it to make her famous before she's even known about it. I've talked about it.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, oh, this is a new star coming, named Rihanna. So to make her very big. Well, she's going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen. And she ran up walking around some recording studio, flirting with some olive skin coloured man, all his business. He said, I've never seen him alive. I've never seen this woman before in my life. And he's saying, JD said, hello, I'm making this woman's bit bigger than future. She's one of my new artists. I'll take her.
You need to slow down, G, because I can't hear what you're saying. Hold on. G. G, slow down.
Ago. I want people with a lot of this control too now. And this white people control it all no more. I want people a part of this. Again,
no, so what I'm saying is
forget the blame. Just think about the
We're
content.
not talking.
We're not going to get no one for blaming anybody. We're going to think about the content and what's going on in our children's mind to make them behave the way they're behaving, find out what it is, what the consequence of it is, and counteract it and change it.
You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you, yeah?
What is going on in their minds.
All right. Have you heard... Hold on. Listen to this, yeah? Listen to this. Have you heard of the... You do some research on this, yeah? Let me give you something to go back to, yeah? So you can have a look. Because you're saying that don't blame anybody. No one's blaming anybody. But what we need to look at, right, is how the music industry has got to where it is today, yeah? Now, I could give you a long list of things why we don't control the contents of the music the way that it used to be, right? The music has changed. I don't listen to the music they got out there nowadays. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, yeah, there's a thing called the Harvard Report. Have you heard of it?
99% of the
you're not answering me, are you?
Made up, or the lyrics of it is made up by the black dudes that are rapping it.
You're not hearing what I'm saying to you, are you?
Not made by no corporation.
You're not
hearing. I'm around them. I've been in the studios where they're making it. I know what about.
You're not.
The famous one, they get all 10 million views, all this business on YouTube.
You never answer my question.
Did you write them lyrics yourself?
You never answer my question. Right?
They might make the beats, yes, but they might make
nowadays,
the lyric to the lyric.
The young people nowadays, yeah, they're not using these record companies no more. They're just doing it themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? But what I'm saying is, yeah, where the people that's making the music on the mainstream media, right? Those are the people that's influencing those same young people. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they want to be like them. They want to emulate them. Yeah? But they don't know what those entertainers have to go through to get to where they are. Yeah? And the things that they have to do. Right? So they're just seeing things from a distance. Yeah? And they're saying, oh, we're looking at these so-called artists, entertainers, as role models. They're not role models. But they see them as role models because the language has told them these people are the role models. People's been saying things like that. So they've bought into that. Oh, these are role models. And they want to bling like them. They want to do things like them without working hard for that. You know what I'm saying? Without actually putting in effort or focusing on something. Yeah, they want things for nothing right now. Yeah? That's why they're hustling and doing all the things that they're doing.
That's what. I remember one time I listened to Genesis. I think Genesis I listened to a few years back. Hearing a mother say she sat down and watched her child get which or die trying. I said, what a dumb mother to do that. So what is the benefit? Is her child going to benefit from watching such a negative titled film? I've never watched that film in my life. I won't benefit from watching it. I will know now the children in my family benefit from watching it. So I'll be sitting down watching it with nobody. I'm saying that, it's all about input. Input, what your input with, information wise, sound wise, all your life, of a period of your life, will make you into what you are. Will make you think a certain way, behave a certain way, believe what you believe, think what's right, what you think is right, think what's wrong, what you think is wrong. All down to information through sound and words.
Yeah, that's right. Sound, images, yeah, sound
words.
and images, right?
Yeah, so images and words, yes.
Right. So what I'm saying is this: you know, I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, go do some research on the Harvard report of the soul environment. Yeah, CBS done a studies, okay, on the soul, on our music, really, called the soul environment, yeah, and basically they've been studying that music or our music since 1972, yeah, and if you look at it, right, you can look at that report for yourself, right, and they'll tell you.
What's the report called again? Say again slowly.
It's called the Harvard report. The soul.
Harvard.
Harvard, yeah. You know Harvard University.
H-A-V-A-R-D.
Yeah, Harvard University. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Harvard report.
Yeah, the Harvard report. Yeah. And basically, from that report, yeah, they're not going to tell you, but from that report.
CIA come out of Harvard down Yale, isn't it? CIA come out of Harvard.
Right, they've usurped on. Right.
Pick from them places.
Yeah.
They pick a lot of CIA from Harvard and they pick a lot of CIA from Yale.
Yeah. So
that's where what's his name? What's that black MP over North London's name again?
Lammy.
The glass with the dark one.
David Lammy.
Yeah, he went there, didn't he? He could be CIA then, couldn't he?
He went to
where? He was
where?
sponsored by some Jewish people to go there.
Is it? To go where?
To Harvard. Or Yale, one of the Harvard or Yale, one or two.
Yeah, look. The final call.
It was CIA then, you know. It was CIA.
The final call, look, you know the final call, hip hop. This came out a long time ago, right? But they had this report, and they're saying that hip hop, Harvard, and Oaks is exposing the hood myth, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you can read about this Harvard report, and how it's been infiltrated, basically, and usurped. What Del Jones.
To be honest, I don't really trust American university information, Sayshara, man. But I've been for all of them: Yale, Harvard, New York, Kansas, Tech. I've been for all of them, man.
No,
San Francisco, California, all the universities I've been to out there.
Yeah.
I don't trust none of them. I don't think that because you go to university nowadays, it makes you more intelligent and a more self-educated person. I say that from what I've seen, from my analysis of analysing university students and analysing non-university students, I find a university student dumber than a non-university student. That's no joke, I really do. Universities that make people intelligent, man. University makes people specialists. So they make people have a wide variety of information. Makes people have a specialised type of information that's only good in one area of that area they've studied, nothing else. So all these university glamorization is a lot of bullshit. So it shows the term a lot of rubbish. I don't really think you're opposed to been to university unless they're intelligent and a non-university person. That's my opinion of what
I'm only saying this, yeah. I'm saying to you, G, you're not hearing what I'm saying to you. It's just like the food, right? It's the same thing with the music industry, yeah? We don't control these things. This is a problem. All right? We don't control the education of our children. Just tell me one thing that we control. Tell me one thing. Tell me. Yo, man, you still there?
Yeah, still there.
You're still thinking about it, innit? Yeah? So what I'm saying is, yeah, what opportunities are there for our young people when we don't control anything? It's a laugh. Do you get what I'm saying? This is what black people need to recognize. Why are we controlling something? Why don't we start to think about, yeah, having the mindset where we say, you know what, we need to start controlling things now. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? And then we can start to control
our own households.
Right, so what I'm saying is, before we get to
land, like our homeland, where we've been residing for millions of years, you can't even control that. So how do you expect us to control anything?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, yeah, so
in the West, we can't even control our own families.
Right, so what I'm saying, yeah,
our families can't control us.
We're not controlling.
As I say,
We're not controlling the minds of our people.
I've sort of given up on this liberation business, though, Sayshara. I love it's going to work.
Yeah, but look.
I really don't. I think the only way we're going to get any power...
You're defeatist.
If
You're
we
defeatist.
go to Africa, the ones or not necessarily go to, but those in Africa be militant about protecting our resources.
Yeah, but you've already defeated...
That's the only way we're going to get anywhere. We'll start from there. We can't do nothing in the West. Besides, we condition our people from the poison they've been poisoned with to make them act so negative. The ones that act negatively, we condition them to act positively. But the only way we can get any global power is by having a home base, so like Africa, which we still reside at the moment, which is the only hope we've got, the chance we've got, and being militant about protecting our resources.
Yeah, but before we can get to that level there, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? We got to start thinking about controlling things. It's all right saying all this fancy stuff. It's fine. I'm up with that. But we got to start controlling the little steps that we take before we start taking big steps. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, when we start controlling our foods, our music, all our cultural, modalities, yeah, the things that makes who we are, yeah. We start controlling that. Then we can start controlling the minds of our children. We start controlling the education of our children. And then we can train them, yeah, to love each other and be protective of each other.
We need a base.
We need, that's it.
The Arabs got a base in the Arab country. The Europeans got a base in Europe. The Indians got a base in India. The Chinese got a base in China. We need a base in Africa that we can bounce off of.
Yeah, because...
We've got bases on bases that don't belong to us, like in the Europe or the world. We've got bases on bases like that, bases on our own base in Africa.
Yeah.
And the way to establish that base.
So let me just talk about this drill music. That this week they was talking about the drill music, yeah? Right? You know about that, yeah?
Yeah, I know about drill music, yeah.
Right, so they was...
that make it.
Yeah, they was making a big fuss about that, yeah? Right? But what I'm saying is this, yeah? How can they turn around and tell us, yeah, that we need to be responsible when they're the ones that's controlling it? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? All the stuff that you see that's being pushed out there, who's controlling it? Right? You know what I'm saying? There's things out there that we can't even imagine, right? When it comes to all of this technology that's out there that we don't know about. We just don't know about it. Yeah? But they're using it. Now is the time where there's a thing called quiet weapons, silent wars. Yeah, where they're not using hardware no more, like before. Yeah, going around killing people with bullets and bombs and all. I'm not saying that don't happen, because it still happens, like in places like Yemen and Palestine and different places like that. Do you get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that's not happening that often. They don't need to use hardware like before. What they're using is silent weapons. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? And one of them is the music, right? The music industry and the way that they're influencing young people into the music industry, because now young people think that that's all they need to do. What kind of mindset is that? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? They need to be going on like they're bad on TV. Right? They're actually making their own illusions up in their head, but they're doing it visually. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? So now they've become so ingratiated in like the projection of what's being projected out there that they feel they need to project themselves. Do you get that behavior? Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you notice they've got Snapchat? They got all these video things. They're all videoing each other and sending photos and all of this stuff. It's all imagery thing, isn't it? Where are they getting that from? I'll tell you where they're getting that from. That's part of the programming. This is the part.
Words.
This
Sound,
is
images
right.
And words. That is a problem, and it needs to be. I have to come off now and say,
yeah.
Someone else I'm trying to fight up the show, man.
Cool.
I've got the show for too long. I've had a good talk to you, though.
Yeah, but look.
You made me get off my chest. I wanted to get off my chest.
Yeah, man.
Well, I've been pondering on for quite a while. Remember, you made me express it.
Yeah, feel free, every time. Yeah, I want to thank you for your contribution, yeah?
Yeah, big ups and thanks for yours too. Big ups, Sayshara. Jumbo.
Jumbo. Yeah. All right. So look, something to think about. Yeah, something to think about. Because you see, I'm gonna play you just a couple of minutes. All right. What's going on in London right now? What's happening? Yeah. So the problem that I have is the reporting is not very good, yeah, of our situation with our young people. And this is a problem. Alright, so look, let me see if I can get you on this.
And when you speak to the experts in Glasgow, in Scotland, the first thing they will say is you're not going to solve this overnight. It took them more than 10 years to make some real progress on reducing the amount of knife crime. This is a generational issue.
It's kind of it's a bit like a fever, isn't it? This sort of fire burns in the emotion of young people with poor conflict resolution skills, who resort to violence to get out of problems. But there's a small and significant number of people who are in this for drug-related, gang-related issues, and they are more violent, they are more weaponised, and they're more purposeful, should we say. Stop and search can be used as an effective tool if it's used correctly and appropriately. Stop and search is essential in terms of being able to regulate the streets, but again, it cannot be used as a single factor in terms of solving a multi-complex issue. Generations of wrong choices, generations of wrong decisions has been filtered through, and issues that in my generation was not addressed has therefore been passed down and manifested with the next generation that we're seeing today, hence why they're more violent, more angry, not heard, and feel more socially excluded than those of a previous generation. What we're seeing now is the result of years of failure to invest in youth, not just financially, but emotionally, politically, and we are seeing generations of people who've never been supported trying to support their own children. And until we stop blaming everybody else and we all start taking responsibility for our actions and for the community we live in, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, Sayshara Black back here on www.genesisradio.co.uk. So I had a deep conversation with Brother G. Sometimes we just fly off the handle. Alright, we fly off the handle, you know how we do, yeah. But it's all good still, yeah? It's all good. Alright? So look, I'm interested in anybody's views. You can send your texts on 074 043 67618, or you can phone in and have this interaction with me here on Sayshara. I want to make sure that you're logged in, and you're welcome to go to the YouTube channel as per usual and tap in Sayshara, Sayshara. That's my way of getting interactive. And you can like, subscribe, or comment, yeah. And also you can send me an email on sayshara232@gmail.com, and we'll just take it from there, yeah. All right, so I'm hoping that I'm sounding all right, okay, and I'm crystal clear. And as I was saying, difficult as it is, okay, as difficult as it is, yeah, we have to go through the motions of some of the pain that we are affected by. Sometimes people try to hide the pain, yeah, but I think that we need to deal with the pain as much as best as possible, right? And we don't want our young people, like I said, we need to be looking at prevention and intervention, all right? And that can only happen. I don't think it needs to take 10 years like what Sadiq Khan was saying, who's the mayor of London. Yeah, don't agree with some of the things that he's saying and some of the things he's doing. Yeah, he's in charge of the police or the police budget or whatever. Yeah, and what I see of the police, okay, in the black community, is not a very good relationship at this present moment. It hasn't been for some time. Yeah, and the whole thing with stop and search, okay, has been quite controversial and it's been quite argumentative as well. Yeah, some people agree with it, some people disagree with it. I think most people in our community agrees with it or disagrees with it. Genesis Radio, Sayshara speaking. You're welcome.
Sayshara.
Shaman.
You're very low, like G was saying. I can hear what he means now. You're coming through low over the phone.
Really?
As I'm speaking
It's
to you.
maybe just over the phone, isn't it?
Pardon?
It might be just through the phone. Let me see if I can.
Yes, low through the phone. You can't really hear you.
Right, I'll turn you up, but it doesn't Right, so can you hear me now then?
Not, I can hear you, but it's really faint. It's not clear. You just sound so muffled.
Yeah. All right. So let me see.
That's better. Speak now.
I don't. Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to just roll with it at the moment, because I think what's happening is that some people got different devices, and sometimes depending on your device that you got, it's gonna vary. Okay, so we're gonna continue to try and improve here on Genesis as time goes by. But yeah, definitely things are going to be changing around there. So yeah, we'll definitely.
The line over the air, over the phone, is quite low.
Yeah. No, we do.
But I do like what G was saying, and what I understand exactly what he was saying. And to be honest, the way these youths are behaving now, they're the ones who will fight. They will clearly fight, but they're doing it in such a wishy-washy way. They're all over the place. They have no guidance. They're driven again, like you mentioned earlier, by the media. They just want to floss. They want to floss. They want the nice things now in their face. That's what they see. But on the other hand, they probably see some of them. Maybe they do have fathers, but a lot of them see their mothers struggling by herself.
Yeah, one of the things that they did say, I think, when there was what they call a spike in knife and gun crime a couple months ago, they started blaming parents, right?
But
they were saying
parents not to blame, it's society.
Well, they were saying that the fathers are absent, right? There's absentee in the home of fathers, and they were saying, is there a strong link or is there any connection to do with fatherless homes? Yeah. That's the part as well. Yeah. So
because at the end of the day, as a couple or as two people, fair enough, you may not want to be with that woman anymore, or you may not want to be with that man anymore. But when there's a child involved, between the pair of you as adults, you have to find a middle ground and be there for the child, so the child can have guidance and support.
Exactly.
Even if you want to go and be stupid and have loads of other kids that you can't support, it's a mess.
Yeah. You really brought something out, because I'm not the only one. We study a lot of stuff, okay? What I've realised as well, yeah, I'm a part of a group called the Black Father Support Group, and I would say predominantly one of the main things that some of our brothers come and sit down and reason with us around certain things, okay, is that same very issue, yeah, where the same very issue that you're talking about, where the father is not allowed to have access to be a part of the growth and development of their children or their child, yeah? And some boys and the girls, obviously some boys are affected by that. They are affected by it, yeah? And also, like you said, that some mothers, they're not going to have the ability to be able to, nurture their boy as well as if the father was around. I'm not saying they can't do a good job, but I'm just saying that there's certain things that only a father can teach a young man about certain things. Yeah, and plus it's giving the young man strength mentally, physically, spiritually, and culturally. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Of course, definitely. It's important that regardless of whether or not you're going to be together, you need to find some common ground to be in your child's life. That is a thing that, for my generation, as the older set of people, that is where we have definitely. I don't even know what it is. Taken eye off the ball. It's just I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, we're getting weirder and weirder, I think. We're getting. It's like we're kind of falling off a little bit, yeah. Because I think that a lot of people think that the situation that we're in, that we got some good ideas out there, but a lot of people think that it's easy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. Yeah.
It's far from easy. It's so messed up. It's like if you've got a ball of wool and you have to try and find the ends and unravel it to make a straight long piece. It's like that. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
You're not going to do it without cutting a lot of it out. And even I sent you a text, like, there's certain black people, they're just useless.
Did you send a text on this phone or the other one? Did you send it on this phone?
Pardon?
No, what you said you sent a text one today.
Yeah, I sent you a text, and I was saying,
was it on this phone though, or the other phone?
On the other phone.
Right, no, because I can't even see the other phone. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
So I don't know. So I apologise if anybody's been sending these texts. That phone has just gone missing. I don't know where it is. Right. So if somebody wants to send a text on this number, I think I can get it. Yeah. So as you were saying about how difficult our situation is at the present moment, because we have a lack of resources. I think one of the things they was talking about is the cuts, or what they call austerity cuts. Okay,
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, in services. Okay, just touch on that, and what do you think about that in the way things are going right now?
It's disgusting. It's stupid.
Do you think
it's absolutely disgusting? You've got these stinking greedy councils running shut over people. You're struggling to make ends meet. All they're bothered about is, you owe us money. They can't even be bothered to flipping sweep the streets you're walking on. They don't even want to come and collect your rubbish, but they want to run down for money, for rent, for council tax, for this.
Yeah. So do you think poverty plays a deprivation and things like that play a large part in our society, so-called society that we're living in? Yeah. That affects the school children and the younger generation, and even just as people as a whole. I think people are in despair, if anything else, in a lot of ways. In a lot of despair. In other words,
right, exactly. And even the youth are in a lot of despair. And this is what I'm saying. They've got a warrior thing in them, but they're in despair as well, and they don't care. They've reached a stage where they really don't give a damn.
Yeah. So.
And they shouldn't think like that, and they shouldn't feel like that, but they don't.
So,
honestly.
So is it? You see what I'll just touch on what you're saying, that they're getting that from society. They're a product of society. That society doesn't care. So why should they care?
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
Right. You see, adults. This is what I was trying to say to G, and he wasn't getting it. I'm saying to him, look, right. We live in a culture that worshipping violence.
And I was going to get to that as well, like you were saying about the bloodletting. And I do reckon they do sacrifices. They do all of this, like, paedophilia stuff and all this carry-on that they deal with. It's sacrifices. They're sacrificing things to demons and lower beings, and it is affecting all of us. And because we don't know, we cannot do what we need to do to counteract it.
Yeah.
Because people would listen and say, "Oh my gosh, that's foolishness what they're talking." It's not foolishness; it's the truth.
It's serious thing, isn't it? Yeah, and I don't think people can comprehend what is actually going on in this world right now, and how this world is resonating, and what's it resonating into. Yeah, it's, to me, like they want to celebrate violence, okay, and they want to force you to celebrate it as well, and they think that you have to honor it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, why? You know what I'm saying? That was some madness that they're talking about, killing millions and millions and millions of people's lives. It's poor people that die. Most of these aristocrats, okay, they never see a front line. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Right? But unfortunately, there's a lot of unconscious people in the world, and in this country as well, right, where they talk about patriotism, right, and nationalism, yeah, and that we died for a cause and all of this stuff, right? We died, you know, they're celebrating their war heroes, right? You know what I'm saying, yeah? And like, our people wasn't even mentioned. Some of the, you know, people that fought in wars that had nothing to do with these wars, they weren't even mentioned. Only till recently.
Because at the end, the bottom line is, it was all about greed. That's all it was. It was all about greed and thieving another person's resources. Same way like the reason why they took out Gaddafi the other day.
They took what?
Why they took out Colonel Gaddafi in Libya the other day.
Yeah, and there's a long list of Arab leaders they took out as well. The ones
all to do with greed.
Yeah, exactly, right. They want to control your country,
everything.
Yeah, and your people and everything. Yeah, but going back to this whole idea, you know, there's different things that I would say that this whole thing around violence, okay, it's projected on TV every day, right? They give you all these programs with these American programs to do with the police, yeah, and basically it's a program, isn't it? It's like predictive programming, yeah.
Definitely.
They you know, crimes committed all the time, so they have to say, well, they're gonna have to find a way to find the criminals, yeah. And that's
find a way to do what?
To find, you know, to find the criminals, or to catch criminals, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Right, but then the real criminals that they need to be talking about, they never talk about. That's the ones.
Criminals sitting in Westminster making up all these stupid rules day in and day out.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the real criminals.
And this sort of you know, this boys' club kind of mentality, worshipping violence and sexual sort of depraved behaviors, yeah. And that's, you know, I don't think people realise that. I think some people realise that the people at the top, they're satanic in nature.
Yes.
Yeah. Not all of them, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
Majority. It would be 1 in 10 that's not satanic.
Right. And so.
Not them. Only 1 would not be satanic.
Yeah. So then, I mean, people's lives for them don't mean very much, or they mean very little, yeah. And if you see the way that even poor people are treated on this planet Earth, yeah, while the very few rich people, they never go on the battlefield, they never go on the front line, they would never send their children out there.
Thank you.
None of this stuff, yeah, right. But they would dictate to poor people, and it doesn't really make sense, because if poor people really wake up and realize, right, that they're sending their children to go to die, because why would you join the army?
Exactly.
There's only two reasons to go join the army: is to kill or to be killed, right? And then the way they kind of spin it on you, they may spin it on you. They glamorize joining the army. They glamorize it. You know what I mean? To make it look good, but they're not telling you, well, you know, we're just using you. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, if you die, yeah, you're gonna get a medal. You know, you get your pension or whatever. Yeah. But even some of those people in the army, they've been treated badly as well. They've been treated very, very badly. You know. So
say that again?
No, I was just saying the people that get injured or suffer from trauma or whatever in the army, sometimes they don't get treated very well either. They don't get supported.
With them. They have business with them. After they've used you up, spat you out, they don't care. You're on city street to go mad by yourself. Like the one who did, what is it, last week, I think, in somewhere in America, in LA. They said he had some trauma and he went and just shot up the place.
Right. Yeah, you're going to get some soldiers that are obviously they're gun-ho, do you know what I mean? And they just can't adjust to life, you know, or they find it difficult.
Yeah, they struggle with it.
Yeah, right. But then at the same time, like I said, I think I was saying last week that some people are under some mind control, psychotronic.
Yeah. Because the army is also a known testing ground for them to do all of this testing.
Yeah. So one of the things I was saying that, you know, what I didn't really kind of agree with is that how they put black boys' faces on the front pages, right, of the news, right? And these boys are victims, yeah. But yet, women are killed by men 2-3 times every week, but they never put that on the front page, huh?
This is another thing. Yes, exactly.
You know, through domestic violence and abuse, but they never put that on the front page. So
exactly.
What?
But they parade. You know, our youth like they're animals. And
Yeah.
They're not animals. They're a product of their messed up, mashed up, battered, beat down environment. I like the clip that you just played. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, right.
And then now it's coming to a head.
And like, you heard the mayor Sadiq Khan. He's Muslim. He's Asian or from Pakistan or wherever. Okay, yeah. And me personally speaking, I think they're just using this situation as a political tool, right? And there's a power struggle within the parliamentary system, yeah. There's some people that's against Sadiq Khan. There's some people that's against the police. There's some people against the government, and there's they're pitting against each other, but they're using the media through the media, yeah, to exploit our young people, our people in general who are dying, and saying that, well, look, this is what's happening to black people. Like, this is the only thing that's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Say that?
They're
using the media, did you say?
Yeah, it's like they're using the media to play their political games. Yeah? Because, Sadiq Khan is a Labour man, isn't it? Yeah?
I think so, but he's no better. They're all in it together. Sadiq Khan's he's a Blairite, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like Tony Blair. Tony Blair didn't know what he was. Conservative, Labour, in between. Because Tony Blair was just a waste of space.
So you
Sadiq
think...
Khan has his kind of mindset. Sadiq Khan's a waste of space. The police are a waste of space.
Yeah.
The judges are a bunch of paedophiles and sickos. Sayshara is a mess. It's disgusting. You couldn't make it up for trying if you sat down and really thought about it. It's ridiculous.
So I'm making some comparisons to the fact that they want to put, for some reason, that they have an ard-on to be able to propagate and espouse when our people get killed, and they kind of exaggerate the whole thing.
Yeah, of course, because they don't care. Because this isn't when the police are licking down someone and killing them for no good reason. Why should they really care? Come on. Why should the police care? Why would they care?
Yeah, I mean,
why would they care?
No.
When they're licking down black boys and chasing them and killing them for nothing, and nothing don't come of it.
Yeah,
are they the right people to solve any kind of crime?
Yeah.
Are the people in Westminster who do nothing but go to war in any position to friggin' say anything? No, they're not.
Yeah. So.
Not to say anything that anyone should be listening to anyway.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. Just because of time now, Sister Charmaine, Could you just maybe summarize, because I'm going to be sort of going now. And overall, what can we? I mean, as a parent yourself, okay, and you know, like I was saying, I'll start off with saying that all parents want the best for their children. No parent wants to see their children hurt or harmed or being taken out. Yeah. And so I think, like I was saying, collectively, we have to come together and be able to do prevention and intervention programs and processes and put in place so that we can get these young people to get to know each other more than for them to fight each other. I don't think we're putting them in a place where they're socialising amongst themselves. I don't think they know how to socialise anymore.
No, they don't, because they don't get a chance.
Yeah.
I was speaking to my friend, and I think he was in he's got a little daughter, and he said he took his daughter, and they were in McDonald's. I can't remember which one he said, if it was Lewisham or Catford, one of them anyways, in the McDonald's. And he said it was him and his little daughter, and he said there was a bag of youths behind him on the table, and they were just strapping up.
Wow.
In McDonald's, you know, people were looking, and like no one said anything, and he must have said to them, because he said it was a mix, it was boys and it was girls. And he said to them, "Do you mind? I've got my daughter here. Can you not, like, you know, like, you just bid up somewhere else and just you know, or at least do it undercover?" Because they were just on the table, Rizzlers out, weed out, cigarette out. They just didn't business, yeah.
Yeah.
And he must ask them if they could do it somewhere else. He spoke, and he said the guys kind of like picked up the Rizzler and said like sorry, and whatever. And he said, but the girls started to run at their mouth. What's it got to do with you? Why are you saying anything? Blah blah blah. Sayshara, it's deep. It's deep out here. He said the boys were more receptive to him just asking them to kind of, you know, at least be discreet.
Yeah.
Is what he said. But he said the girls didn't. They didn't stop. And he said and they were running up their mouth.
Yeah, and I noticed. I think they arrested a girl. They said that killed somebody the other day.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
So it's affecting girls now, young females.
Of course it is.
Are getting involved.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. A lot of these, you know, these young kids, they're going to become wayward parents. So what kind of children are they going to have?
So do you think education? Everyone talks about education, but I always say that education is good, but I think common sense is more important, because at the moment we don't have our own institutions. We're not building our own institutions to educate our children. So that's not happening right now. So I tend to talk about the miseducation of our children and what's happening there, until we can get to a place where we can educate our children, because until then they're going to be lost in space. Let's be real, because a lot of parents, I'm not saying all parents, but not a lot of parents are going to be fit to educate their children or to parent their children.
I know of children, their parents are alcoholics, their parents are crackheads, you know, like
that's what I'm talking about.
Horrible.
So how can we say that it's down to the responsibility of parents alone? It can't be just the parents alone. It has to be.
No, it's not. It's society. It's the pressure. It's everything.
Yeah, and I think
remember,
I
back
think
in the day when they first, because I grew up in the 80s, so you remember when they first launched the VHS and the Betamax video recorders?
Yeah. You're going back a bit.
Pardon?
You're going back a bit, Charmaine, but cool.
Yeah, I'm going back a bit, but you'll see where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
And there was a thing when you can get your own watch whatever you wanted to watch, and they would come with this thing about video nasties, and if the video nasties is turning society more violent and more warped, more this. Do you remember that? When they used to say that, and they used to actually call it that, video nasties, because before then, remember, you had to watch whatever was given to you, whether it was in the cinema, whether it was on the 3 channels that were existed at the time until Channel 4. That's all you had as a choice. But when it came to videos, you could buy and watch pretty much kind of what you wanted.
Yeah.
And they used to always go on about video nasties and how it's mashing up society and it's a danger. You don't hear none of that no more. To the point now where you've got computer games which replicate war, and nobody mentions that ever. It's not a problem. I've seen how the tables have shipped and how they've allowed it to shift because it's money for them. Them video games ain't cheap. That's £60 a pop.
Wow. Damn.
Yes, they're £60 a pop. Call of Duty, Red Dead, all of them games, they are £60 a pop. They're not cheap. But they're not saying anything because it's money in their pocket.
So
they don't bother about video nasty and violent society no more. Really and truthfully, they don't care.
So as a parent, what would you ban in your house?
What would I ban?
Yeah, generally speaking, just to give parents an idea of what we're dealing with.
Well, I'm lucky. My son's quite good. And he's quite sensible. He's not a telly person. He does play some video games.
Yeah.
But he's not addicted. He's quite sensible. But that's because of me, Sayshara. I'm not going to work round the clock to buy a nice car, and I don't know what my child's doing. I'm not that woman. I'm not going to do it.
So you take a lot of responsibility to make sure. No, you take a lot of responsibility to make sure that you can provide for your children the right types of things to shape the mind of how he needs to behave and how he needs to conduct himself and things like that.
Exactly, and around them. I need to be around them. I can't be. Oh yeah, no. I've got to be at work, and I'm always tired when I'm at home. I'm sleeping. I don't know if they're at home. I don't know if they're on the street. I don't know if they come from school. I'm not that parent. But you've got a lot of parents out there. They might as well be on crack.
So you're saying that it's good for parents to really take special attention to their children.
Well, you care. Why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to?
Exactly. All right, so I'm just looking at the time. I know the clock's a bit slow on the computer. It's according to this, it's 8 minutes, but I know it's nearly 2 minutes too. But yeah, just summarize for us, and just I don't know if you got the drift of what me and G was having a conversation about in terms of resolving some of these conflicts, issues that some of our young people have. It's all about actually being on the ground, actually being in those places where those young people are, and where they're gathering, and actually doing our own research and having our own reports and analysing things ourselves, and actually asking young people, how can we help?
Yeah, and that's if they want to talk to you.
Yeah. We've got to find a way to reach them in a minute.
Exactly, because a lot of them, they will. They are going to come across hostile, and I get it. Of course they're hostile. Of course they're hostile. They don't want to grow up to be like our generation that they see. We're flipping hostile. So how can you expect better from the children? It's terrible. It's horrible. It's a mess. It's disgusting.
So I think the adult world needs to change.
The adult world, yes.
Yeah. The adult needs to change. I think we need to get away from violence. Start putting a lot of energy into violence behavior on the TV and videos, games, and all of that. That's got to
exactly know what your child's doing. Take as a parent as well. You need to pay attention to what you're introducing your child to, because you can't, be raising your child and it's Halloween and let's go trick or treating and do all of this foolishness and when they're 5, yes, okay, play Grand Theft Auto, play this and play that, and then when they get to 10 and 11 now, and they're kind of going off the rails, and you didn't see it happening right under your nose, what can you say? What can you say?
There's no guarantee how things are going to turn out for young people, but obviously the more guidance and nurturing and support that they can get,
definitely,
and the right forms of knowledge and information that they can get. We're talking about life skills and responsibility, talking about self-development, self-awareness, rites of passage, and all of these different ideologies that we need to create for our children and our future children. Okay, so we can take them away from all of this craziness, really, that they shouldn't be going through. They shouldn't have to be going through this. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't want this to happen anymore. You know.
It's horrible. It is. It's ridiculous. But you know, I just want to phone up and add that input because it's just.
Yeah.
And even like the other thing where you said where they said it took them 10 years to get under control in Glasgow. I've heard many Scottish people say, yeah, Glasgow was rough.
Yeah. I think they still.
People up there, they were on heroin.
Yeah.
A lot, and yeah, they were violent. They were forever shooting some of them, yes, actually, and stabbing each other, and they're having their football rows and carrying on. They're pretty active up in Glasgow. So
yeah,
you don't see them going on about that.
Yeah, they don't talk much about white and white violence, unfortunately.
No.
They don't think it exists, you know. But like I said, 2 out of 3 women get, you know, physically
murdered by their other half, and
through
and again, it's not really highlighted.
But it's not highlighted, so I don't know what to say. And just to put things into context, they say 117 people got killed. There's only 22 of them that were teenagers. I think young people, yeah. And some of them were black, and some of them were Europeans, Asians. It's all a mixture. Some people are old. A whole bunch of, you know, it's just different stories for different things. And I think we need to be looking at the victims.
It's society as a whole. The adults are hostile. So what do you expect the children to be?
Yeah.
If you've got a dog and you come in your house and you kick that dog every day, one day when the dog turns around and bites you up, what can you say?
Exactly.
What can you say? You were the one kicking the dog every day from it was a puppy. You didn't raise the dog to behave sensibly or properly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
anyway.
I'm definitely going to be out of it in a minute, but I want to say thank you for your contribution.
No, it's a good show.
And yeah, just pass the message. Keep it locked in and tuned in on Genesis. And I want to say thank you for your beautiful contribution.
No, thank you, Sayshara. Good night.
Welcome. Good night. Good evening.
Bye.
Ciao, Jumbo. Yeah. All right. So look, I'm definitely out of here. All right. I want to say thank you for all those people that's locked in and tuned in. Yeah, just keep it here on Genesis. We've got loads of radio DJs just waiting to hear from you and waiting for you to tune in and listen to them. And you just tune into your favorite DJs. Keep it locked here on Genesis Radio, to your favorite presenter, and just look out for young people out there, for real. I'm out of here. Ciao, Jumbo.